What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Tom.
I'm Chris.
I'm Pete.
As you can see, Pete back on the couch, and look at how smooth that was. That was a nice intro. That was very smooth.
We didn't even practice.
It honestly happened again where I was like, I didn't know if he was going to do it, but I just jumped the gun.
Me too. I was like, honestly, I'll just go.
I wasn't speaking until you spoke.
Yeah.
So if you didn't speak, we would have just been inside.
We would have messed it up
That's
again.
called chemistry.
Pete, way to jump in over there. That was good.
Thanks, dog. I figured you can't
real smooth.
You can't roll going last, no.
No.
It's the last person to go. Just
That's
jump
what
in.
always happens to me and him. We both try and go last, and then no one speaks.
I knew you guys were figuring it out. I was listening. I'm like, who the fuck's gonna go first?
If you tried to hop in before the main, like, I don't want to say you're not a main member of the podcast. That's not what I'm going for. But like the intro is usually
No,
Matt, Tom, Chris.
We're integrating.
We are integrating you.
No, we're integrating. So no, normally you guys go in your order. So
Yeah.
all right, fuck it.
No, you did perfect. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Appreciate
that
it.
was beautiful, Pete.
Thank you.
Like, you're the man. Welcome back to the podcast.
Go, dog.
Happy to have you. So, you know who else is happy to have people? Aaron Rodgers is happy to have Davante Adams.
Stoked.
Josh Allen is happy to have Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
The NFL is looking like the NBA right now, and we are so excited to talk about it. So obviously today we're going to be talking about the two trades that just happened in the NFL. We're going to be talking about some more fantasy football stuff, some of the values as opposed to the busts. We're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys and how hard they've been busting as of late. I mean what I said, as Nick looks crazy behind the camera. Outside of that, of course, we're going to talk about Justin Fields being benched or the Steelers running two quarterbacks. And you know, as the saying goes, if you have two, you have none. So I'm curious to see what happens there. I'm sure we all are. And of course, we're going to talk about top 5 NFL trios. And that one is going to be a fun conversation. So make sure you pay attention to that.
We were arguing about it before we started.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Before we start, I have 2 shout-outs I have to make.
Yeah. Let's
First
do it.
shout-out is to Nick for surviving Milton.
Yes.
And making it back to us. 'Cause we were all very
My boy.
concerned. So
Fuck Milton.
shout out to Nick for surviving the hurricane. The other shout-outs to the guy to the left of me. Shout out to Tom. It's his 1 year and 1 day anniversary being a member of the BallGame podcast. So shout out to Tom for all the work and being here.
Let's go, baby.
Thank you. Wow. Quick year, huh?
It went by.
Quick
It
year.
went by
Quick
fast.
year.
I didn't realize it's been a year. Wow.
Yeah, me neither.
Ooh, and since we brought you on, I mean, what? 300% growth. So
I mean,
way to be, buddy.
I don't keep track of the numbers.
And we have decorations.
That's what I got
now.
you guys for. Yeah.
True. True.
Yeah, how'd you guys watch that shit, honestly?
Blank
Just
wall,
a fucking
bro.
brown ass wall.
Blank wall.
Yo, it's funny you say that because, like, obviously we've upgraded a lot to this setup, but the upgrades ain't over. Stay tuned because we got a lot more coming for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna look real pretty real soon.
Yeah, we
I
make money
promise.
now, so.
Make sure you guys follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, if you guys want to see a nicer setup, go like our TikTok. And watch it
Yes.
for 10 seconds.
Yes.
It's so easy. Just literally go like it. Please.
Like it and watch for like 10 seconds. Yeah, as Tom just said.
The
So
longer the better.
very important. Yeah, I mean, watch the full video. It's good fucking content, man.
Oh,
It
yeah.
really is. So.
Enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Enjoy.
So, all right, let's jump right into this. Aaron Rodgers is so happy to have his best friend back. Josh Allen is so happy to have a new best friend arriving in Buffalo. These two teams played last night on Monday Night Football in what was an absolutely insane game. One that, granted, I did not watch. Apologies. I was at the Yankee game. Big shout out to them for getting that game 1 dub, and they are on in the background right now.
Blowing it.
And it is not looking pretty.
It's not going well.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just lead off with the trades because the game is what it was. I mean, we're going to have thoughts on that.
What a shift.
For
that is.
sure.
I'll give some quick thoughts on the game.
You were at the game.
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
what
what a
you have a
great-
whole different perspective.
What a great game ruined by the Zebras, man. What a...
Yeah.
And because, like, it wasn't split 50-50, but obviously, you know, the Bills being from New York, there was a hefty amount of Bills fans in the stadium.
You heard it too.
And that fourth quarter, man, on both sides, because it went both ways. It's not like they were favoring either team in particular, but that fourth quarter and the penalty after penalty after penalty, it sucked the life out of the building both ways. And it was such a drag. It was like when everyone was tired. My dad was ready to go home.
It's so
he
hard
had
to
work in the
watch.
morning.
Like it
was such a great game, and you know, still a good game, like 3-point game. You take that when you go to a game. I'd rather see that than a 40-point blowout, obviously. But just such a great game. Just the Zebras, man. Just come on, man. Just let the dudes play.
It was like you said. It's one thing if like a penalty is a penalty, you know. But there was one like I think it was a hold on might have been Mike Williams like over the middle, and he like grabbed his jersey a little bit. Like, come on, man. It's fourth quarter. It's a close game. Like it really didn't affect the play. The hold on Tyron Smith. Who the fuck gets a hold at the 3-yard line? Like come on.
That's what Dean said. How do you even have time to hold?
You know what's funny? Aaron Rodgers even said his roughing the passer call that he got called.
He
was like, that wasn't even real, bro. He said it.
Apparently there was one the other way too. Someone else got a roughing.
Yeah, that one I thought was a roughing the passer.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
It was on Josh Allen. I thought it was the ball was released. It was like a pretty late hit in my eyes. I thought that was one that, whether you like it or not, by the rules and the way they've been calling it, that one I thought was pretty textbook. But the one on Rodgers, it was literally a textbook sack, and he like held on a little bit longer, but he was trying to strip the ball out.
Yeah.
So like it's not like he like intentionally jumped on top of him, threw his weight on it. He was trying to make a football play. Like that was a textbook sack.
I think the refs have been like okay this year too. Like I don't think we really had that problem.
For the most part, they haven't tried taking over games.
I feel like we haven't really had that issue.
It was so weird too because for as many penalties as they called, I felt like they missed a shit ton of stuff too.
That's when the refs are real bad.
The fumble that it ended up working out because Rodgers threw a pick, but earlier in that drive,
so I thought because his arm was going forward, it was an incomplete pass.
It looked like on all the replays in the stadium, it looked like he tucked it back in though, and like the rule is like I feel I obviously don't know the rule book word for word, but isn't the rule is even if the arm's still going forward, he clearly made an attempt to tuck it back in, and it looked like he dropped the ball. It didn't look like he was throwing the ball. So I thought that was and it was weird too because they didn't let the Bills challenge it because they said the replay booth ruled that it wasn't a fumble, so the Bills weren't even able to challenge it, which was strange.
So like they stopped it and they were talking to Sean McDermott, and I'm like, are they just explaining this to him? There's no challenge flag anywhere. Like what is happening right now?
I think it was.
He
so
couldn't
cold.
challenge because it was
so cold out. They just wanted the game to. They wanted to go home.
There was also
it was freezing
in between the third and the fourth quarter. Deion Dawkins and some Jets defenders were chirping at each other, and then Deion Dawkins was the only one who got a penalty, which was just like the dudes were just chirping. It's either you're gonna call that on both teams, or you're not gonna call it at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. You're talking about between. It was like during like a commercial break.
Yeah, it was Q. It was Q and Deion.
Because I was at the game too. I saw in the group chat yesterday. Yeah, surprise! I was there too. I didn't even tell you guys. My bad.
What the hell?
I went. Yeah.
Okay.
But he goes okay. But,
I mean, I wasn't there, but that's just weirdo behavior.
My point is, I don't know if it was on TV what happened.
They showed it after. Yeah.
They showed it after?
Yeah.
Because it was dark. You remember?
Lights were off in the stadium and everything.
Yeah.
No, it looked cool as fuck.
I
did look super dope.
I saw players running on the field. I was so far away, I couldn't see what number or who was running. But I heard like people in the stands like, yo, beef. And I was like, what? Where? And then I saw in the middle of the field like scrapping, and then I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" So yeah, it was on TV.
It was Quentin Williams and Deion Dawkins. Yeah.
Which was just
which like what poor soul has to break up a fight between those?
It was a drive killer.
Good luck with that.
Killer for the Bills. So it set them back 10 yards, and they were like in their own territory anyway. So it's just like, why are you?
Yeah.
Why are you ruining a good game, man? It's a division game. Let them fucking chirp at each other.
Yeah, let them chirp and whatever.
And that was the only time all game that there was any really like extracurricular stuff. So it's like the one time they're chirping. Like, this is football, man. It's football.
It's two teams that don't like each other.
Yeah,
like,
it's football.
you know,
like let them play football. I have to ask you, Pete. Now that I know that you were at the game, because I thought this was crazy. Were you in your seats for the Hail Mary? Or were you getting ready? Okay, because half the stadium wasn't in their seats because everyone was getting ready to go to the bathroom and get food. My sister and my girlfriund missed it too. It was just me and my dad.
Yeah.
But half the stadium.
Dude,
was
me and my
empty
dad
for
went
that.
crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
It was so funny because I saw it. I was like, Dad, I'm like, not for nothing. I'm like, we could really score right now, bro.
Rodgers.
Next play, bam, and bro, we stood up on our seat. We're like, no way.
It was
comes up,
but it just wasn't loud enough in there for a freaking Hail Mary because everyone was on the bathroom lines or on the food lines. Bro, there was 20 seconds left. Everyone was like, "Fuck this shit. Let's go get my chicken nuggets and my beer."
That's a superpower. because he does this over.
4 times at the end of a half. He's done that.
Dude,
That
yeah,
was just a crazy
and
catch.
the
by
first
the
half.
way.
As
in
a
the first
Giant fan,
Speaking of chicken fingers,
we know a thing or two about that.
Yeah, that was.
yeah.
So
Speaking of chicken fingers and beer, so I was going to get a water, and I forgot. Is it at the end of the third quarter they stopped serving beer or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so. So I'm going to get a water, and some guy walks up to a cookie stand. They don't even fucking sell beer. They just have water and cookies, right? And the guy goes, he's like, you guys got beer? And the kid, this kid was like our age, and he's like, no, I'm sorry, like no, you know what I mean? Guy goes, what the fuck? Go fuck yourself. I was like, oh my god, bro. The kid, I felt so bad for the kid. Like he just looked like, man, I'll get
And
paid
that
enough
is
for
your
this shit.
average MetLife Stadium visitor.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
MetLife sucks,
Yeah.
bro.
yeah.
MetLife
The
sucks.
The poor
worst
kid working
stadium.
at the stand, man. Like,
How do you pay for parking and then I'm still waiting in line
Oh,
for
yeah.
30 minutes
No,
to
it's
get to
crazy.
a parking spot, and then they direct us into a parking lot that there's no spots in.
And then you
we
go
have
to a
the new
stadium that
parking
is so bland and like honestly one of the worst
Like, I
experiences
don't
as an
like,
NFL
if you
fan.
pay for parking, bro, you should be freaking directed to a parking spot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
$75 for parking. We're
not
driving.
Bro, it's
Like,
just
it's
as
not
much as
cheap.
the ticket sometimes.
dude, I was
Great.
checking every day. Like, oh, maybe there'll be a $40 parking pass. They kept going up like $5 every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
went up
because of
paying
what
like $80.
happened at the Giant game a few weeks ago, I told my dad, I'm like, you have to buy the parking pass.
They literally have. Yeah,
And-
you learned your lesson
Yeah,
last
and
game.
we like my dad dropped us off out of the car, and he was like, "Just like I don't want you guys to miss the beginning of the game. I'll find parking." So,
What a goat.
my dad came after the first drive. He
Yeah.
got into the stadium. but
Wow. What time
yeah.
did you guys leave your house though?
We left late. We didn't leave till like 6:30.
Have to leave 5 o'clock.
Yeah, no, everyone was coming from work. We weren't tailgating
Yeah.
or anything. So
Yeah.
I got there and literally got to my seat as kickoff started. so.
Yeah. Well, at least we made it.
So that was the game.
Someone just
Yeah.
smelled
So then a few hours, like,
I just smelled mad food. I don't know why
I'm
or
not gonna
how.
lie, I birthed, bro.
Oh God.
Bro was like, that's good.
bro, I just saw Matty J like
I didn't say it smelled good, but I smelled food.
no, you said it smells like food. Like, my
Yeah.
bad, bro.
can you guess what he ate?
Yeah, can you guess?
No, I don't remember
Come on, try
anymore,
this.
bro.
Come on, give it a guess. Your best shot.
Just give it a
Chicken
give it a-
This is
cutlets,
guess
bro.
the burp
I don't
trivia.
fucking know. Chicken cutlets?
This is guess the burp trivia. Huh?
What was it? Chicken cutlets?
Chicken colors?
What was it?
Go again.
What was
You got
it?
3 tries.
Just fucking tell
Go
me.
again.
I'm
Sushi.
disgusted right now. Just
No,
tell me.
you're close. Huh? Dumplings. Hey, Nick gets Chinese.
What type of dumplings?
All
I
right.
don't like pork or something. I don't know. Yeah, some good. My bad though. I won't do that again. Yeah. There's a fan here.
Wait.
You know?
Now for one of the smoothest transitions in podcasting history. So the game.
It's all right, just
I'm trying,
leave it.
man.
No, it's fine. I actually, it's
Just
the
leave it. Just leave it. Just
perfect
leave
moment
it.
to show the mic.
This is so off the
You want to
rails.
show the
Perfect
microphone?
moment.
Good.
Check it out.
We got a microphone.
Oh, new ball game mic. All right, now everybody sees it. Nobody gives a shit. Let's put it back.
Yep.
Peaches.
No, you got it.
Just
Doing great,
just
man.
leave it.
There you go.
All
Just-
right, everybody.
Just, leave it. Just please
All right,
leave
and that's
it.
gonna stay there.
Oh God.
I'm gonna try this for the third time.
Real quick. We didn't talk about this with the game.
Yeah.
You talked about the refs and stuff. You talked about all the penalties and stuff, but I just find it funny because they fired their head coach like for a reason. Like they
Talk
wanted
that
to hold
talk.
guys
Talk
accountable.
that talk, Matty
Talk
J.
that talk.
Again,
This
did
is for
not
you, Dean Wagner.
did not
Listen
watch
up.
the game. Did not watch the game.
Shout out Dean, man.
But
out,
like,
Fellow-
I looked at the penalties and all that stuff, and like as you said, the refs weren't all that good. But I just find it funny that they fired their head coach to hold guys accountable, and typically a team gets like a boost the game after they fire their head coach. That's usually what happens. So I'm sure that a lot of people bet the Jets, especially because they were underdogs even at home, and they lost
Tough, man.
with a Hail Mary at the half. So you got a free touchdown. You went in with the fired coach boost. You have a really good defense, right? At least that's what I was suspecting. Like
So they say,
Robert
yeah.
Robert Saleh was the defensive mastermind, and he gets fired. And then Josh Allen, who went 9 for 30 the week prior with no receivers
And a concussion.
and a concussion, then basically torched. I'm assuming torched. Did he play a really good game or?
He's played better game.
Yeah,
But did he have a good game?
Good game, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I don't know.
He makes some plays where it's like this guy just isn't a normal human being.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
Rob Saleh didn't have the locker room.
That's true.
No, yeah. I
Players
just
going to bat for him after he got fired, saying that the season's. He didn't have the locker room. No.
no. And you
Us?
know, accountability though.
Accountability.
Accountability
Hold
though.
these guys accountable.
Because look, if you're gonna hold the guy accountable, you know what you do in a post-game press conference. You go out there and you blame your
There's
mistake
that bus
on the
coming.
receiver.
There's that right under it.
You blame the mistake on the
Freaking
receiver.
Giovanni Adekoya after Mike Charlo threw him under the bus.
Which,
sophomore
like-
year of basketball. He's still there, bro. He's still there all these years, bro.
Shout out Gio. Gio's a hooper.
Even if it was the receiver's fault, as the quarterback, it's your job, and Patrick Mahomes does the best job of this. It does not matter if his receiver makes a million mistakes.
'Cause they
He is
always
putting
do.
that shit on himself every single time. But what does Rodgers decide to do? We preached accountability. We said that they weren't being held accountable. They come out flat. You were down 20-10 at half, so talk about coming out flat. You did it once again.
Pause.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Presume.
And then Rodgers comes out in the press conference and talks about how it's his receiver's fault, throws Mike Williams under the bus. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you're a 4-time MVP. You get what you want with this team, and you do whatever you want because it's your team. Like, you're the GM, you're the owner, you are full. You have all say in the New York Jets. That's basically what it is. So I just think it's bullshit. It needs to be said. I think this is ridiculous. It's a clown show is what it is, quite simply. The Jets are a clown show.
Hey.
And somehow they're even more of an embarrassment than the other team in New York who scored 7 points in primetime football and have a quarterback who is an active terrorist at this point. So
I don't think there's anything more embarrassing than the Giants, but
debatable. I'm a little annoyed about the whole situation because, you know, Jet's gonna jet. And I'm not even a Jet fan and I'm pissed off. But you know what? Hey, things could get real bright in New York for the Jets because they just traded for that guy's best friend. Davante Adams is a New York Jet. And it came at a cost. Not a crazy one, but it came at a cost. A third-round pick that could turn into a second, I believe, was the final compensation. And I guess this means good things for them, but at the same time, like, does this change the long-term outlook for the New York Jets? How do we feel? Chris, go ahead, get us started.
It don't really change shit. I don't know.
All right. Yeah.
I don't think receiver was really their problem. Their problem was.
oh, it was a problem.
Was it though? Alan Lazard's playing out of his fucking mind.
He leads the league in touchdowns right now.
I don't know. All right, maybe it wasn't the biggest, but
like you said,
ran a top 5
They
receiver
traded a
team.
pick for him, and you got a top 5.
You do that all day, yeah.
It helps,
Yeah, you do
obviously.
that all day.
I just don't think it was a problem for them. Like we're gonna talk about another trade that happened today with the other team that played in this game. I think that trade's just more impactful based on needs for the teams. Obviously, getting Aaron Rodgers this caliber of weapon, like it's gonna help the offense. And
Dude.
I think my main
No.
main takeaway from the trade is the pressure is on Todd Downing now. Because you got rid of Nate Hackett. Todd Downing did a pretty good job last night. I don't know the exact numbers, but they were a team that was running motion on 20-something% of plays prior with Nate Hackett. They were at motion on 70-something% of plays last night. So
Nice.
That's what
Good.
you want to see. That's something you want to see.
Well,
And
real quick, they asked Rodgers about that on the Pat McAfee show, and Rodgers' answer was like, "That's our offense. We've been doing that in training camp all summer." And it's
It's
like, well, why the
not.
fuck haven't you done it in the regular
Yep.
season?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And now he
bullshit
protects his
artist.
best
Yeah.
friend.
Oh
And
my
now
God,
he
he's a
protects his
bullshit
best
artist.
friend.
Yeah,
Love that.
continue.
Yeah,
Love that.
I think we know who Davante Adams is. We know the connection that he had with Aaron Rodgers. I expect that to be. It might take a week because they haven't played with each other in years, but I think those two guys need is a week to get back on the same page. Honestly, you said it when we talked about Davante, the rumors. You said they had one of the best mind melds of all time history in the NFL. So I expect them to get on the same page relatively quickly. But all right, Todd Downing, you got two top 20 receivers. You got a top 5 running back in the league. You got an offensive line that's supposed to be good, and you got a 4-time MVP at quarterback.
It does not look good.
Let's see what you could do, Todd Downing. So my biggest takeaway is the pressure's on Todd Downing.
Yeah. Dude, no, as a Jets fan, like I'm super excited to see
You should be.
the value that he has to bring to us. But more importantly, obviously, this is going to take targets away from Garrett Wilson. But this is a good thing because it's kind of diversifying the portfolio
Less
of
is
our
more,
opportunity. Like, our opportunity right now is Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, trying our best with Braylon Allen. He's a beast, but he's not. He hasn't been playing in the league for many years yet, and we're still figuring out what we're going to do with him.
Yep.
Conklin, was practically a game time decision.
And he ain't been. He
hasn't been doing anything crazy. I mean, the last couple games, like Rodgers has been, showing him a little bit of love, but for the most part, like, there hasn't been anything too much there of substance.
Hey, Alan Lazard's dogging right now.
Alan Lazard, my goat. He's
Alan Lazard has
balling
played
out.
good ball.
Yeah.
Like, played good ball, but for Allen, like, he's had some big drops and big mistakes.
He has.
Hell yeah. And
But
then,
yeah.
Well, leads the league in touchdowns right,
Right,
now.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then Mike Williams, I kind of feel bad for him because, like, he's a great football player, but he's not doing anything on the Jets. And I don't want to say he's not doing anything on the Jets.
He hasn't been
He hasn't been great, but I don't want to say he's not doing anything for the Jets. I don't think he's not getting the opportunity. He's not getting
play him.
targeted. They're not playing him. They're not throwing him the ball. They're not even giving him the opportunity to really show what he could do. So, whatever. I mean,
Also coming off a torn ACL.
right, it's iffy.
And then when he was getting targeted, the quarterback throws an interception, the quarterback goes to the podium for the national media and blames it all on him.
Right. So it's like,
He's
having a hard time.
gone. He's gone.
And it's
He
not
will
even
not
his
make
fault.
it to next week.
And it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
Which is
They
like
should
fucked
keep
up.
him around, bro.
They're getting rid of him.
So whatever. I definitely think like I'm excited to see what happens. So like I said, we have another opportunity. It's gonna take targets away from Garrett Wilson. I mean, Garrett Wilson is like, bro,
He's come alive.
He's
these
looked,
past couple
he's
weeks,
looked
man. He's been
real good
great.
the last couple
That
weeks.
touchdown
Yeah.
catch was just
Yeah.
nutty. Oh my god, the body control
Yeah.
on that shit.
insane.
He makes some like just I said it
Bro.
all season, like some just like twitchy athletic plays that like just aren't
Yo.
normal. The way he moves his body and contorts his body,
Mm.
really, I don't think there's a guy in the league who moves like that. Honestly, right
Yeah.
now.
So I'm super excited. I mean, I don't think we looked terrible last night. Like
The
it
offense
wasn't
looked the
terrible.
best it's looked,
Yes.
aside from the Patriots game.
know what I'm
But
saying?
that game's like just out the window, doesn't count.
I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm a biased Jets fan, or I'll say a naive biased Jet fan.
You're allowed to be.
But the play calling I thought was pretty fucking good yesterday. It wasn't terrible.
I mean,
There were
yeah.
some silly things.
Of course there was, yeah.
In the
I mean,
I don't know what quarter. It might have been like still in the first half. You guys were driving down. Rodgers threw a 20-yard pass to Breece in the middle of the field. 20-yard gain, moved the chains up a little bit, and the very next play was a fucking flea flicker, and Rodgers took a 7-yard sack.
Yeah, I mean that was
That's like what the hell? Like that? It's a drive killer.
You were doing
just
so
got,
good.
You just got a
You were
20-yard
doing
game,
so
and now
good.
20-yard gain. 2 plays later, you're at 2nd and 17.
yeah.
It's a drive killer, and we saw in this game, the points weren't coming easy.
No.
Kickers weren't making field goals. Like every
Talk
yard
about that for a
mattered.
minute.
That was
What
bad.
the fuck was going on with that, bro?
Greg is not like Greg was reliable as hell last year.
Extra points and
When
like
you
what was
guys,
that, like
you know?
25-yard field goals, like or something like that? I
they're
don't-
not that so
35.
30 something, like
They're like
chip
35.
shots.
5 like chip
Yeah.
shots though. Like
Yeah.
what
Or
the
something
fuck,
like
bro?
that.
Like I don't want to be that guy. Like, oh, you have one job, but like,
Brother,
literally,
Who said it?
do.
Was it Joe
You know
Buck
what I
that said
mean?
it on the
Like-
broadcast? He said, "I see better kicks than college game day."
Someone
Bro.
said,
Yeah,
Bro, let's get
the
like a
students are
Rutgers-
kicking better than some of these
Let's get like
NFL
a
kickers.
Rutgers soccer player or something. Like, I don't give a fuck, man. That was unacceptable. Like,
Bro,
that was so upsetting.
Me and my cousin kept checking like the Jets score, like just to see updates and stuff. And we saw like Tyler Bass miss PAT, Tyler Bass miss field goal. We saw Greg Zuerlein miss field goal, and then Greg Zuerlein miss field goal. And we're like, yo,
It's so funny.
what is
It's so
happening?
funny because
today?
I was clowning
It
the
was
Bills
very
kicker.
windy though.
Bro, I was
so
It was very windy though.
yeah,
because
yeah.
Will Fury was
bro,
at the game and said it wasn't that
wasn't
In the Bronx, it was incredibly
Yeah.
windy. So
No.
I don't.
It
Obviously,
didn't
that's a big
feel
difference.
as
But
windy because we're in the
dome.
box. So
It's a
like,
fishbowl, bro,
Sitting in
like-
my seats, I was comfortable. Getting on the escalator to leave the stadium, I was shivering.
What
It
section
was,
were you in?
I was up there. I was in
Were you in 300s though?
302, yeah.
So
You weren't
from what
colder
I
than
noticed,
300s?
No, I wasn't. Like, it got colder throughout the game, but it was much colder, like, walking out of the stadium
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Like
No, it was.
being
It
in
only
the
got- it
bowl,
only got colder.
it didn't feel that windy in there at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was dressed with fucking compression pants for days.
Well, they get it. They get it pretty bad on the field. They get
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
drift.
saying.
So
It was definitely windier than what it felt like as a fan.
All right, so
I don't know.
that-
we were
that-
freezing
That's
at
like,
Yankee
for the Jets, though,
Stadium.
that's
It was
supposed to be
windy.
to your
Bro, we were
advantage.
dying.
I was talking about that with my pops a little bit, because we were in the 300s, right?
Yeah.
And we were laughing. We're like, damn, we get the far view and the freezing cold, because like we were looking down. And I was like, yo, pops, I was like, do you think it's windy down there? Like, should we just like buy the better tickets next time to like not freeze? And then he's like, well, look at the goalpost. The flags weren't moving.
Yeah.
The flags weren't moving.
Yeah, that's
No,
what-
them
yeah.
shits were moving.
I didn't see it
bruh.
moving. Every time I
Them
checked, they
shits were
weren't moving.
moving. Not crazy, not crazy, but
I
them
saw them
shits were
flat for
moving.
majority, just like not moving at all, like
I saw them
standstill.
moving. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I
You might have
left
been- I
the
think you were on the other-
stadium,
I don't know.
like when I got on the escalator, it was. I don't know. If you
Freezing.
felt, it was
Freezing.
bro.
Yeah, but it was really the wind.
fucking cold.
So maybe the
cold
wind
outside.
took account into the kicking game yesterday night, but like, I don't know, man. That was.
I mean, Greg's
fucking
missed a few
unbelievable.
this season.
What happened?
Greg's missed
Yeah,
a
he's
few
been
this
bad.
season.
Yeah.
He's not been good.
It's tough,
He's usually
bro.
reliable.
Yeah.
The Davante Adams trade, man, I don't know. I think if there was one move to make to save the Jets season, it was a Davante trade. I don't know if it's going to do it.
I know you kept talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be, some people think you could just pick up Davante, plug him back in because it's same offense, same quarterback. It's not that simple. Even Aaron,
that simple.
Aaron himself said it. Like they haven't played, like you said, they haven't played together in 3 years. It's the same system, sure, but it's definitely not the exact same plays. All of the exact same plays you were calling in Green Bay and all that, and there's new personnel you got to work with and get to know.
Much different.
But chemistry aside, you're putting a top 5 receiver on a team with Aaron Rodgers, and you're putting, and now the second best corner covers Garrett Wilson, and Rodgers, who statistically over his career is great in man coverage, has struggled mightily in man coverage this year. Is that more the receivers? Is that more the quarterbacks? Probably, definitely a little mix of both. But
It's 100%.
if there's one guy that is a man beater, it's Davante Adams, and especially in the red zone. They're like 18th in the league in red zone percentage, and Rodgers is usually cash money in the red zone. Adams too.
What was that, bruh?
Are they good?
Good.
Oh,
No, but I guess really quick.
I'm glad that they can't hear that.
Really quick though, do we think that we overpaid for Davante Adams, or do we think it was the perfect in between? I want to say I think it was like just about right.
If you think it's gonna get you a Super Bowl, then yeah, it's the perfect
Then
price.
what?
Yeah.
And no price
Yeah,
is
whatever you
bad,
want.
but at the same time,
Conditional third. If he makes an All-Pro team, it goes to a second. Or if he's on the active roster in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl, it goes to a second. Those are the conditions.
right. So I feel like they're like, okay, like we want you, we'll pay you good, show us what you can do.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
yeah.
I think that's fair.
What were the conditions?
If he makes an All-Pro team, I'm sorry, I might have said Pro Bowl, but an All-Pro team.
Pro Bowl's a joke.
Which is also tough.
If he
bro,
makes an
switching a
All-Pro
team
team,
mid-season.
yeah, if he makes an All-Pro team, first or second, or if he is on the active roster in an AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl,
Okay.
or the Super Bowl, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So
So if he plays on a really
If
fucking
you
high
get
level,
what you wanted out of him,
yeah.
it goes to a second-round pick. If you don't
Right.
if you don't get what you wanted out of him, it's
it's a third, right?
You know?
Yeah. Look, you get a top 5 receiver for a third-round pick and to potentially save your season, bro. You have to do that.
Right.
No, Jazz. Oh my God, this guy, bro. What are you doing?
Greedy.
What are you doing, bro? Obviously, if you get what you want out of him, a second-round pick means nothing.
Right.
Like in this case, it means nothing, especially when you're going for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just. I personally think this was the only move they could make. This was the only move that could potentially save their season. You're 100% right, Tom. Davante and Aaron Rodgers, we've already seen. We've already seen on multiple occasions the type of chemistry that they have. You just said it. I said it in the last time that we talked about the Jets. They should be able to get in lockstep pretty quickly again. I just think they had that type of chemistry to where it's like you'll always have that. And
They
if
play
you
Sunday
saw,
night, Davante might have like 14 targets.
if you saw, bro, Pat McAfee show, Davante was immediately in New York.
Schefter said he
Raj.
was on a red eye this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Pat McAfee show, he pops in on the screen and he's like,
That was cool.
That was dope. Like, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy, but that was pretty cool.
It was cool. It was cool.
I thought it was cool. But yeah, does this change the outlook for me? No, I don't think they're good enough to compete with a lot of the AFC's best. But I mean, that could change because this offense could be humming starting next week. And
their schedule is lightening up. I mean, they get
but this was supposed to be the lighter portion of their schedule.
not at all.
Yeah,
the start of the year?
Supposed to be
They're supposed to be 4-0.
5-1 right now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe,
The
but
Vikings
like
weren't-
looking forward now.
They weren't supposed to lose to the Vikings.
No. I'm saying, but like looking
were-
forward now.
The Titans, you never like. Oh wait, you
They
won
beat-
that game. You beat
So
the
it's
Titans.
Pittsburgh, it's New England, Houston, and then Arizona, Indy, bye.
Arizona,
Seattle, Miami, Jacksonville, LA. So like after
That's
the
why.
What was the
Yeah,
what was the
that's what I'm
start?
saying.
What was the start of their
They must-
schedule?
it was
Have you?
They got San Fran. when
San
we
Fran,
thought-
Tennessee.
rough.
Yeah.
We thought they were going to beat San Fran, though, because Ayuk just
Oh, no, I
got
didn't
back.
think they
McCaffrey was out.
But
I thought they were going to
We
be
all
San
thought-
Fran.
Yeah.
maybe I did. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you're right. Maybe
I
you're right.
McCaff
wasn't
out.
playing.
Ayuk
Just
just
got
coming
back.
back. You don't have Greenlaw. You don't have
Yeah,
who
no.
flung it,
Yeah,
bro.
but it was Rodgers' first game off the Achilles.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But oof.
Wasn't a
Anyways,
gimme either way.
Yeah,
Jet
no,
fans
not
were
again,
saying
not
14 and
Yeah,
3,
they have a
bro.
light
Oh
schedule,
no, but the rest of their schedule. My point is, if the offense is going to get humming, now's the time to do it. Trade should have been made a week ago, but we spoke on that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, go look trying to freaking integrate a guy in Pittsburgh on prime time.
And also,
bro.
like for the
Yeah,
last
if
point
they
is
can.
test, bro.
Yeah.
That's a test.
the
But
last point
if
I'm
anyone
going to
can,
make
it's
is
Davante and A-Rod.
Davante's contract is up after this year, and Aaron's contract is up after this year.
Well, yeah.
And now there's talks of Hassan Reddick coming back in the building. You want to sign that guy to a 3-4 year deal right now? Like, I guess if you think it's a move that puts you over, you got to do what you got to do to get a Super Bowl. But I don't know. It's not.
You do whatever it takes.
You do whatever it takes, right? But it could get real ugly, real quick.
The last point I'll make before we move on to the other trade is, because we talked about it, his name's already brought up in rumors. I think they'd be stupid to trade Mike Williams right now. So
Well, apparently he's going to likely get traded.
I
So
think that's a mistake. So the reason being
Why they would?
is, I'll tell you why. For as good as Alan Lazard has been, that is the role that Davante Adams is coming in to take. The way Aaron Rodgers wants to play is he wants to get the ball out quick. He wants the prototype. Garrett Wilson and Tay Adams are Z receivers. They're route techs. They're not your big body X receiver, deep
Right.
threat, And that's not what Alan Lazard is either. I think Mike Williams, just for as bad as he's, for as slow of a start as he's gotten into, I think he's just by far a better field stretcher than an Alan Lazard. And I think that, in this offense where it's going to be dink and dunk, short routes, out routes, slant routes over the middle, dump offs to Brees, Conklin getting involved, you need a field stretcher to keep the defense honest. So I think, it's been a super slow start for him. Last night was not pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but I think Mike Williams' skill set is exactly what this team needs. For as good as Lazard is, I think he's the odd man out here. I think Mike Williams' skill set is just going to be so important to keeping the defense honest for this team, just with his field stretching ability.
Yeah.
If Mike Williams could do anything, he's a deep threat.
Run down the field.
Yeah.
because there's been very few quarterbacks that have also thrown a jump ball better than Aaron Rodgers, and Mike Will is one of the better jump ball receivers in the league. And you only expect down the stretch of the season, he's going to get healthier, he should be better. Granted, he's also 30.
30 coming off torn ACL.
30 coming off a torn ACL with a history of injuries. So it's tough.
I guess by logic, because of how good Lazard is, Mike Williams is the odd man out. But I just think skill set wise, Mike Williams as the third receiver to Garrett Wilson and Davante Adams makes so much more sense to me than Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
Just
The idea of Mike
skill
Williams,
set wise, yeah.
But that's the thing. The idea of him, I guess, is better than him right now. But it's funny because you drafted a guy in the 3rd round to also be at least a decent slot receiver, and he's just an absolute joke and isn't even active on game day. So, sorry, Malachi Coyley. Bro just took a stray, but
Xavier Gibson too. They just
I like Gibson.
he
He doesn't even play.
time out. Yeah,
So, but he's, again, that's another one where it's he's a slot receiver, so it's tough.
Yeah.
There's only so much you could do. I always thought Jason Brownlee would turn into something, given all those training camp highlights and stuff. But I guess
He made
that's
a few plays when me and Dean went to the training camp live too. When we went before the season started,
he's a prototype X too. Like he's got the size and stuff. So, but I don't know. Jets are.
That's
Jets
what I'm saying.
screwed, I
Like,
guess.
ideally, in my head, like Tay and Garrett Wilson are going to be on the same side of the field. One of them will be
Yes.
outside. One of them will be inside. And then if they trade Mike Will, Lazard's going to be the guy isolated. Me personally, like the guy isolated running the deep routes. Like I just think Mike Williams is just so much more of a better fit for that role.
But Rodgers
you know?
and Lazard already have the chemistry.
Yeah. No, Lazard's playing out of his freaking mind. So I get it. I get it if Mike Will is the odd man out. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I will say, though, I think it's going to be very interesting, shifting gears now, because Josh Allen now just got his own weapon. We're talking about Davante Adams joining up with Aaron Rodgers. Now we're talking about Josh Allen losing gigs and now gaining Amari Cooper. This is going to be interesting. And I think this helps more so than just the player Amari Cooper himself. Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, and all the other guys in the Buffalo Bills offense. And I think this, while no Amari Cooper is not the caliber of player that Davante Adams is, and not even close at this point in their careers, but Amari Cooper to the Bills shifts me on their outlook more than Davante Adams shifts me on the Jets' outlook. And that's where I stand, because you talked about need before. And this was the Bills' number one need. There really wasn't much else of a need. And we saw that last week, that their biggest issue was just the fact that they didn't have guys who could separate. And this helps immensely, because now you allow Amari Cooper, who, yes, leads the league in drops. But I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't think he wanted to play with the guy in Cleveland anymore. He who shall not be named.
Nope.
I don't think he wanted to be there anymore. I think Amari Cooper is going to be very motivated to be back in a winning situation. And Amari's used to playing in cold weather. He played in Cleveland. Granted, it's not as cold as Buffalo, but it's experience in cold weather. Amari has experience in big games, and this is going to help them immensely. I think this is going to be a great move for Buffalo. It's going to show just – I don't remember what the compensation was. Was it a third?
I don't even know, honestly.
Was it a third?
I was like going into.
Yeah, I think it was a third, but there's probably like some
Conditions
type
or
of
something on it,
conditions.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyway.
Isn't it nuts? Before I give my thoughts, it's nuts that the Browns got more for trading away Amari Cooper than they had to give up to get him in his prime. They only gave up a fifth to get him from the Cowboys
insane.
and just traded him away for a third.
In case you needed more proof of neglect by the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah.
as a front office.
Don't you worry.
That's
We'll
like,
get there.
for as much as a dumpster
get there.
fire as the Browns are and the way their organization is run, I feel like that's all you could ask. Trade a
Oh, it's a
fifth round pick
W,
for
yeah.
a guy, get a good
got everything you possibly
get a
could
good
out of
3-4
him.
years out of him, and then trade him for a third round pick. Like that's perfect.
Yep.
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's job well done. That gets an applaud for sure.
But just to close on my thoughts of this, I think Josh Allen's going to be real happy. I think you made your superstar quarterback very happy, and I think as this Bills team gets healthier, hopefully, throughout the season, given the litany of injuries that they're dealing with at the current moment, this is going to be huge. And this could potentially make Buffalo a real legitimate threat once again in the AFC. So, anyone else? Thoughts?
Yeah. What's it called? So we asked before. We said which one was more impactful trade. In terms of impact, I thought the Davante trade was more impactful because of the effect. I don't want to say this. So
On
Cooper-
Garrett?
not necessarily. So Cooper to the Bills, like that's clearly their worst need, and you filled your worst need with an elite, with a great player.
We hope is still
Great
elite,
player, yeah.
Right.
But Davante, I just think helps the situation. Like the Bills are 4-2. They were getting by without Amari Cooper, you know?
Right.
So if you want to say that it's more impactful because it turns them from very good team to potential Super Bowl contender, potential Super Bowl champion, whatever, and that leap is more valuable to you, then that's fine. But like the Jets with Davante, I think it'll open up so many more things for them, and we spoke ad nauseum about that. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out there about comparing the two. But
Do you think it saved it? Like you're saying, it saved their season?
the Jets,
Yes.
if there was anything
could.
that could,
It
yeah,
could.
Okay.
I'm not going to go there yet, but
It could. Yeah, we
Yeah.
got to see how they play next week.
yeah. But Cooper, I have some numbers on Cooper. So you said he leads the league in drops, but Where the fuck did it go?
I'm gonna fucking kill myself with this.
Amari
team,
Cooper
dude.
is fifth lowest in catchable target rate at 62.3. So that means only 62% of his targets are deemed catchable. So if he gets 10 targets a game, he really only got 4 of them things or whatever the math is on that.
Bro, Watson is so bad.
Oh, you ready for this?
Shit, I named him. Sorry.
So this is since 2007, out of 566 passers through 6 weeks of the
saw
NFL
this.
season, Deshaun Watson ranks 558th in QBR, 565th in yards per dropback, and 566th in first down rate. That's Bill Barnwell, an ESPN writer. So Deshaun Watson is absolutely fucking terrible. So if you're gonna base, I mean, everything I've seen from Amari Cooper going out the window this season.
Yep.
Like everything
Gone.
out the
See
window.
ya. Buenos dias.
That man was hooping with Joe Flacco.
balling.
Hooping.
Best year of his goddamn career.
Hooping
Dude,
with Joe Flacco.
remember what he did to Derek Stingley?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And we've seen Josh Allen hyper target his favorite target before, and it just wasn't really working with Diggs anymore. And some people were like, "Oh, they just should have kept Diggs." Nope, wasn't working anymore. And Cooper still got him, man. He does have a few bad drops. Like a few of those drops are just hit him in the hands and just he didn't come down with it. But
Yeah.
you know, when you're in a place you want to play, you gotta work a little harder. You know, when you're
Yeah.
competing, when you're
100%.
actually playing towards something, you're gonna work a little
He's
harder.
playing for a Super Bowl now.
You're gonna run that route a few more times at practice. You're gonna go up for that jump ball, no matter the cost. And like you said,
Because it'll be catchable.
right, like you said, and I think Josh Allen was really high up there in like accuracy or something like that. I forget. I saw that stat somewhere too. But he's Josh Allen, and he's been dealing.
Bro,
this
he's
season.
doing it with, like, he's putting the ball in places that only his receivers can catch,
the Mac Hollins touchdown, brutal. Hit him in the hands. Beautiful throw right up the seam.
I
Hit
didn't
him in
even
the
see
hand.
it.
Yeah, no, that's why I went to say it to you first, and I was like, he probably didn't see it, but beautiful ball right in his hands, just stone hands, dropped it.
Well, that's what
and
you
we've
get
seen
when
that.
Mac Hollins is your wide receiver too right now.
We've
so.
seen that a lot with the Bills this season. And
Shout out Matt Collins.
shout out Mac Hollins. He's
He's
made
one of
some
the
good
funniest
plays, but
dudes.
yeah,
I like Matt
in
Collins.
the NFL.
Jack too.
He is jacked.
He's a big boy.
But Amari Cooper helps the Bills immensely. I don't know if I'm going to put them at the top of the AFC pecking order. Want to see how it plays
Nah, I
out,
don't.
but yeah, but I mean, they've also just shown that they can get by. Like you mentioned, the injuries. Sometimes it feels like they don't even miss the guys that are gone. You know what I mean? Like they just
on the defensive side of the ball, guys just come in and out of
Matt
the lineup.
Milano hasn't been there all year, and like I said, feels like they've definitely missed him. But
That's the Sean McDermott effect.
yeah, but so I'm really excited to see what the Bills get going forward.
Any thoughts?
We got Pete, Amari Cooper.
I don't know. I mean, I like you said.
They saw what the Jets did and said,
Yeah, you guys had the spotlight
fuck
for a
you.
good like 4 hours.
They said, yeah, fuck you.
Today was kind of crazy. Yeah,
It was
insane.
wild.
This doesn't happen in the NFL.
You know
No.
where I
Yeah.
get the notifications through? Best Ball.
Underdog.
Underdog.
Yeah, underdog
Fucking-
always drops in.
Sorry, my bad.
Shout out Underdog.
My bad. Fucking Best Ball. Underdog. Like I'll just.
Yeah,
you know,
Shefty's slacking. He didn't get Davante first or
Rap got
Cooper.
both?
Yeah, Rap got Davante. I don't know. I think he got Cooper too, or someone else got Cooper.
Bro, Rap is the
I
best
saw
in the game.
Coop news from Underdog.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
see
saw
it
it
from
from you
you.
guys. I didn't even get it from
all
Underdog.
that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, this morning I was driving to work and then I saw the Davante Adams trade. I was driving, fucking let go. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The Davante trade
You know?
I saw from one of the group chats. I think
Right.
it was in the Dynasty chat. And then
Lav dropped it
yeah,
immediately.
Lav was quick on that. And then Cooper I did get from Underdog. That
Bro,
was where I saw that first.
sick. I
But
love
also
it.
my Twitter notifications are just like
They're so
it's,
flooded. You
it's
just
a
don't.
mess,
You
bro.
probably don't
Well,
see them.
because
Yeah.
I get double because everything
BallGame,
that I have
yeah.
notifications
Yes.
on my personal account, I have
Yes.
notifications on the BallGame
Yeah,
account.
yeah.
So every tweet, that's why my phone's always said. My phone is getting Twitter notifications like every 2 minutes,
Yeah.
bro. It's really
That's
nice.
why
It's
you're,
real
that's why
bad.
you're always on
Yeah.
Do Not Disturb. I always call you twice.
That I have to have
It's
my
because
phone
of
on
Twitter,
Do Not Disturb, bro.
No, I'm super excited for the Bills, but not too excited. Like this is
You're still gonna-
this is the Jets division, bro. You know what I mean? But like, hey, fuck it, yo. Like, if I do want anybody to win in our division, it's gonna be the Jets or the Bills.
That is.
I'd rather the teams in my division
Why is it
be set on
Well,
fire.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
No, the reason why
I don't
say
give
that,
a shit about any of the teams in my division.
No,
They could all
well,
fucking burn.
All right, you know,
He was
all right,
saying if
maybe,
you had to pick one other than the Jets.
yeah, like
I
you
don't
know,
think I could
You're
pick
not
one.
rocking with the Dolphins?
well,
maybe
oh my bad.
Come on.
I'm back, huh?
Come on.
No, the reason is because at the end of the day, the Bills are
Tua's
also in New
coming
York
back,
team.
bro.
Facts.
So you know what I mean. So if I'm gonna
Bills
look
are
at-
my second team. So
you know, like I mean, I feel like second team's got to, respectfully is has to be the Giants for me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then, well, yeah, it's New York.
I mean, I root for the Jets.
I definitely, I root for them, but I can't.
You don't put them second?
I don't
Who's your
even
second?
put them close to second.
I didn't know what I was doing at that game last night. I didn't know who I was clapping for.
see,
Like I said, I
yeah.
had Hunts in my ear, turning around every time the Jets did something. My sister sitting next to me wearing her full. My sister's a Bills fan because she went to school
Yeah.
in Bing.
Let's
She was
go.
upstate,
Well, that
so
makes
she's
sense.
She's a big Bills fan. So my sister's sitting next to me in Bills gear. So I was kind of rooting for the Bills, but also I'm at a Jets game, so I have to root for the Jets a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was really, I didn't know who to root for. I was clapping at pretty much every good
Well,
play.
who in your family's a Jets fan? Anybody?
No, we just
So what the fuck are you doing there? I'm
the
joking.
Bills. It was the Bills.
Well, your sister's a
Greatness,
Bills
man.
fan, yeah.
You want to win his
Dude,
greatness.
wasn't the stadium half Bill fans? Literally?
Yeah, it was the
Dude, if
Bills.
you
At
look
the end of the
like,
game, there was a lot of cheering.
It
like,
was
No, the
crazy.
Bills fans showed out, bro.
I
They
know it was
travel
good,
well.
But yeah,
Bills fans travel well in
everywhere,
general.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was only in a small little section, but very respectful, man. Like it wasn't because I'm seeing on Twitter all weekend all the fights breaking out at all these stadiums. I'm sure there was a fight
Raider fans every
somewhere.
week.
I'm sure
Eagles
somewhere in the
fans, yeah.
stadium
Dude.
there was a fight, but
Two fucking Jets fans were fighting each other behind me. I'm like, yo, your own people.
Aaron
Literally,
Rodgers,
your own people.
Do you see what you do to people?
but all the Bills fans and Jets fans talking to each other. Everyone was being really respectful
The kid-
and all that
it's-
stuff, which is
Bro,
It's
Bills
so funny.
fans,
Yeah.
My side of the
honestly,
state- yeah.
have the best fan base in the NFL.
So I'm gonna go.
honestly.
I'm gonna go off track
All
a little
right,
bit,
okay.
but I was
This is getting out of pocket. Wait.
Wait, this is funny. So I was at a Jets Giants game with my dad, my brother. They're Jets fans. A few of his friends, Giants fans, whatever. And we were sitting with other Jets fans, Giants fans, all the way at the top. And I think that's a thing too. Like people in the 300 section just
Crazy,
chilling. Like
Well,
I don't know.
the people
But
in front of me were there was
were too
like
I don't know.
Cold
We're the
fuck.
craziest
We were
people
too
in the,
cold to give a
in the
fuck.
There
stadium.
was
What
like
happened-
5 of them in front of me, people, and they were passing around smelling salts. Like,
What?
like passing it around.
What?
Like not. I don't know why I did that, but just like the thing of smelling salts, just sniffing that
Yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Well,
Like,
they did that on
You're talking
fantasy
about the shit they were
footballers
just, like,
last
lifting.
week. One of the
yeah,
episodes.
just sniffing that
Smelling
shit and then
salts.
just like screaming, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Screaming, bro.
What does that even do for you?
They were
Oh,
getting
it
them
gets you
hyped.
fucking
It's like a-
hype, dude.
I guess an
Hype?
adrenaline rush.
It
I don't
is,
know.
yeah, it is.
The only shit I've seen on that is some kid going around lately going, "Hey, excuse me, do you want to test my new cologne?" And and bro, it's
Oh my
it's my
god.
new fragrance, right? And he's clearly opening up a fucking bottle. Like there's no fragrance. People are smelling it, and they're like, oh, and they're fucking falling out of their shoes. Why the fuck would? What does it do for you?
So
It
I
makes
was at a formal once and for Iona, and one of my friends comes up to me late in the night, and she's like, "Smell this." I go, "What?" She goes, "Just do it." I'm like, "Why?" She's like, "Just do it." I'm like, "All right." I go, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?" But
Do you run
so-
through a wall after?
no, I
It
was just dancing,
doesn't
having a
miss
great
though.
time.
If any video I've seen of people smelling it, all the reactions are crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if you have no idea what the fuck
yeah,
it is.
exactly, yeah.
People are oh, I don't know. Just fucking watch the videos,
Alright,
bro.
anyway, you were
yeah,
at a Jets
whatever.
Giants
So
game.
I was at a Jets Giants game, and the guys behind us, we were all bullshitting all game, and then we were there was a Patriots fan 2 rows in front of us, guy wearing a Patriots jersey. So he was cool though and whatever. So but we were friendly talking shit, you know. So at one point I stand up, I see a guy in a Cowboys jersey, I go, "Hey, as long as we can all agree, fuck that guy," and everyone goes, "Yeah, fuck you, loser." It's so funny.
If
But,
there is one team that everyone hates, it is
Dallas
most
Cowboys.
definitely the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
It was
It's
also mad
debatable.
funny. I sent in the chat in the middle of the second quarter, 3 kids walked in. One wearing a Baker Browns jersey, one wearing a Juju Steelers jersey, and one wearing a Jettas jersey, which I thought was pretty funny. Just why are you wearing that to a Jets Bills game?
Yeah.
My thoughts on Amari Cooper. You guys pretty much got everything. This moves mountains for me personally. My 2 biggest only concerns with the Bills going into the season was, one, the defense. They shut me up real quick about that. And the receivers not being able to separate. They get one of the route runners of all time history.
One of the route runners,
Of
yeah.
our generation,
Oh my
probably
God,
a
yeah.
top 5, top 10, just strictly route runner of our generation. So this, and it just, like you said, not only for Amari Cooper and Josh Allen, but just the other guys taking the pressure off
Yep.
them. The Bills are, I mean, if there was any doubt, there was doubt for me, but for most people there wasn't. But the Bills are up there. They are a real life Super Bowl contender. You can make the case that they could be the Super Bowl favorite right now. I don't care that they're only 4-2. You can make that. This is that big of a move. Amari Cooper is that good of a football player and a receiver, and like we said, that was their only need. That was the only thing that was the matter with this football team, besides the kicking.
Right.
Which was bad for them too, which is just crazy.
Tyler Bass is awful.
That is nuts that he's still their kicker after what happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
He does this repeatedly in big moments.
After he literally lost your season last year, you got to move on.
Yep.
You got to move on, right? Like it's ridiculous.
But he's been so solid.
He was bad last year
and then he
for them.
sucks.
Like even before he sold the season for them, he wasn't good last year for them either.
Yeah,
and then he sold the season, and now he's probably been like a bottom 3 kicker in the NFL this year. So it's like,
there's got to be someone on a practice squad
it's like,
somewhere
why
that's better than him.
Why is that? Like his confidence is clear. Like we talk about it time and time again.
Yep. That position,
especially
Yeah,
at
'cause
that
you just gotta
position.
boot that thing and like,
yeah,
you know, like,
and it's like he's clearly like rattled, and it's clearly
if
like
you hesitate, it fucks.
like if a
everything up,
kicker's missing 30-yard chip shots, like it's clearly a mental thing. Like we know Tyler Bass his leg is talented enough to make 30
50 is
yards.
plenty of time,
so that's a whole other thing. Before we move on, that was a lot of Jets Bills. Before we move on to the next segment, I'm doing this live on the pod. Let's get it done, Tom. Bring Coop home
Bring Coop home.
to my team.
Oh my God.
Let's get it done live on the pod.
Live on the pod.
I'm gonna still start with a 2nd-round pick. What
Wow,
else?
this is getting done on the
I'm not
pod.
doing just a 2. Oh, it's Josh Allen's number 1, and I have the stack.
You do have the stack, but you also want Genty.
I do want Genty.
And if you don't make this trade with me, then I'm gonna get Genty.
Have you talked
talking
to
for Dynasty?
Have you yes. Have you talked
You
to
want
other
in on this?
people
You want
about
Coop?
What do you guys want?
I have Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Do you want Amari Cooper?
Don't you want Amari Cooper?
I want Amari Cooper.
So how?
But aren't you trying to
oh,
win?
you're trying to get max value.
Yeah, why the fuck
I
wouldn't
mean,
you? You
I
should.
mean, yeah, why wouldn't I? Do you
Well,
Amari Cooper will make Joe Cruz?
Dean
team
was
is good now,
capping, by
bro.
the way. Someone would give up a second in our dynasty for Amari. Like, and by someone I mean me, if I could.
Bro, if you
so,
needed a receiver,
but Dean ain't
yeah.
trading nobody to me, so I knew that.
Shit, because if you don't make your team worse, then I'm just gonna get Genty for my team.
I mean,
I can't lose.
Wait, what
mean-
second are you giving him?
any of them.
Oh.
Whichever one you want.
you got a couple ones.
I do got a couple ones.
How bad do you want to beat him?
It's just like
He wants to beat Joe Cruz
yeah, my
so
team is
bad.
not winning a championship.
He literally
I don't,
texted
like,
me.
my
I
team's not
forgot to
winning the
answer him.
ring.
And
You'd be
goes-
dumb to
I
do
know.
this.
I want to beat
He goes,
Joe
fuck
Cruz
Joe Cruz.
so
Whatever
bad.
he offers, I'll pay more. But Joe Cruz never offered me anything.
Bro,
Did that other shit.
I want to just beat Joe Cruz. I want to beat him so
Can
bad.
you use Amari Cooper right now?
That's what I'm checking right now. I mean, Tyreek is kind of shit in the bed, so maybe.
You have Keenan Allen.
What's your receivers looking like, brother?
You
have
will
Nico,
tell you
right?
right
Nico's-
now.
Nico-
The thing is,
Nico's
Amari
bueno.
Cooper's 30 years old, dog. Like,
Yes.
this is dynasty.
But you're trying to win a championship, no?
Yeah, you're right. All right.
I mean, you
so,
already traded Tom all his picks too. Well,
Yeah,
not
I
all
could-
of them, but a good amount of them.
couple of them.
A good
For
amount.
Jordan, right?
Couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, for Jordan Love.
was that a good trade?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, your team's
Your team's really good.
one of the best teams
Your
in
team
the
is
league.
really good.
so-
brother, you have Baker and Jordan Love. Jesus Christ.
Bro, he's got
Love.
Brees, Kyron.
Yeah, his team's
His team's
loaded.
fucking nuts.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
Well-
no, you need a receiver right now, desperately, bro.
Yeah, I was
boy.
on a lot of bye weeks going on.
This guy.
I'm starting DeAndre
Let me see your
Hopkins.
picks. Go down.
Like I could, like if I'm trying to win, I could really
You
use
really
Coop
could
too.
use
Give him a 2 and a 3.
I mean, what about my mom's?
Give me your 3 this year. Give me a 27-2
Yo,
I'm mad at you, Coop.
third round pick for next year.
for
Second
this
round
coming
pick
year.
for 2026 for Amari Cooper. No negotiations. Let's fucking do
What
it.
is it? 3rd round pick for this year, 2nd round pick for next year.
Here we go.
I'll give you 2nd round pick for this year and 3rd round pick for this year.
Give me 2/3. It's worth it.
What if I give you the 2027 third round pick?
So
don't need
a
no
2nd and 2 threes.
Oh, that's so far away.
I don't fuck with you.
You got a couple ones.
Me?
You got Joe Cruz's one. Joe Cruz's one is basically a 2.
Dude, yeah, you
I
got a lot
know.
of ones, Chris.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah,
But like,
you're really in this for
I
the
don't
long
know
haul.
if I could, in good conscience, give up a 1st round pick for Coop just for my team to get bounced in the 1st round of the playoffs. Like,
Bro, you got Brian Thomas.
I know. I got
Go.
Brett Up. I got fucking Marvin Harrison too.
Jesus
goat.
Christ.
Can't
what if-
stand up straight, bro.
Oh, boy.
Oh
so
man.
what about
You want Coop?
Yeah, I would love to. If I texted Dean right now trying to trade for Amari Cooper, he would tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, because you got
I
receivers
do.
from him, right?
I do.
And guess who I'm playing this week? Dean.
Right.
I need a receiver.
I do a 2 and 3 threes. You shop around the league. You have time to make this.
Oof.
You know, negotiate, talk
I'm
to
gonna be
other
honest.
people.
I'm not that
but
obsessed with Amari Cooper.
I,
I'm really not.
That's fine, but don't do it.
I
It's
do.
okay.
I really
I
don't
do a
even
2
care.
and
A 2 and 3 threes.
a
is-
2. No, not 3. My bad. A 2 and 2 threes.
2 and 2
Sorry.
threes.
Yeah.
I feel like Amari Cooper is all right. Never mind. I feel bad.
2
I don't
and
wanna
3
say
for
it.
this year, and then the other 3 you could pick 26 or 27, whichever one you want.
Oh boy.
Interesting.
You should
I don't think Amari
Definitely try
Cooper
to shop
is
him
gonna-
for a 1.
Yeah.
That
But-
yeah, shop around.
yeah.
Obviously, do your due diligence,
Bro,
though.
so I'm 1 and 5. I put up 165 points. I lost to Joe Cruz this week, and Joe Cruz just got AJ Brown and Calvin Ridley for a bag of chips.
I saw you sent that trade.
Yeah, so
Well,
I was like,
well,
was
let's
that about?
let's
I
just
don't
put it
know
out
what
there.
happened,
Calvin Ridley
bro.
sucks. Like that's
Right,
over.
yeah,
That's done and over with.
I mean, that's the greatest thing that ever could have happened for my team, so I can't complain. Like, as the commish, I hit,
This kid
I hit
Antonio
push on those trades immediately, bro.
sold traded a first-round pick for Zamir White. His first-round pick this year.
and
to
Wicks.
Fucking Zamir
And
White.
Wicks. And Wicks.
And Wicks. And then
Well,
6
it was a
weeks
first
into the
and a
season,
second. It wasn't just
That's
the first two.
no.
6 weeks into the season, yeah, my team.
I remember you
sucks, selling
texted
farm.
me about that, and you go, "Am I overthinking it?" I go, "Press accept right now. What are you
I was
doing?"
like, bro, but Wicks can be going as number 1.
And I asked him.
Wait, this trade was
I
disgusting.
asked him for Addison in a second for Amari Cooper before the season. He was like, nah.
Jeez.
Dude, like,
what
wasn't
the
crazy, but-
fuck was this trade, bro?
I mean, that's Addison in a
All right,
second.
so for you
Amari
guys,
is a
the 2
lot.
trades that went down in our league today
Zamir
were
White.
Lad McConkey, Tank Dell, a first-round pick and a second-round pick for Calvin Ridley, A.J. Brown, and 2 threes. The A.J. Brown side obviously made out well there.
My God.
And then the other trade, which was the real crazy
Yeah,
one,
this one was real bad.
was
This is bad.
no
Devon
sense.
Achane, C.J. Stroud, a 27 first, a 27 third for Brian Robinson, Anthony Richardson, Jackson Smith, a 2026 first, and a 2027 second.
By the way, Superflex and the team that got B-Rob is the worst team,
Right.
correct?
So the team that sold all of this stuff and got worse is the worst team in the league. Now they cemented themselves as the worst team in the league. But again, I traded Zamir White and Dontavion Wicks for this person's first round pick.
This
So,
season?
I would
yes.
never.
So Genti's coming home.
How the hell is he selling, bro?
I
I
would
don't know.
never.
Oh my
tank-
God,
yeah.
dude. Fuck all that. Get Amari Cooper for sure and compete this year. And you're still going to end up with a first overall pick.
Nah.
Do
Sell-
both.
selling
you
Josh
are
Allen.
literally in the perfect position to do both right now.
I know. I just don't want to give up. Bro, my running
Don't
backs.
give up a 1.
My
Don't give
running
up a
ba-
1. Sorry, Tom. Sorry,
running
Tom.
backs
Bro, it's basically a 2 though, because Joe Cruz is 5-1 and just got AJ Brown.
Doesn't matter. It's a 1.
I don't care.
My running backs are going to end eventually, though. I have Jordan Mason and Chuba Hubbard
Yo, I
leading
got
the pack
Najee
for
Harris.
me right
What's
now.
wrong?
I'm good. I'm good. All right. Moving on.
Yeah.
2 trades in the NFL today, forming some new trios within the NFL. So for you guys, we are going to be ranking the top 5 trios in the NFL: quarterback, running back, receiver trios. Who wants to get it started?
I'll go first.
yeah, go.
I'll
So-
make this thing toxic.
I'll preface this. We started this recording super late. It's 10:18 right now, which is freaking nuts. But
Yeah.
we sat here for probably 20 minutes once everything was all set up and all that, talking about our lists. And this is hard to do. So our basis is if you're injured for the season or you haven't played yet, you're eliminated. So McCaffrey and the 49ers, eliminated. Rashee Rice, eliminated. Thank God.
Does that eliminate the Chiefs?
No.
Who knows?
So, yes, it's not just wide receiver. It's quarterback, running back, pass catcher.
Yes.
Right.
There's only one tight end who we talked about. It's only going to be one tight end who makes this list. Obviously, it's pretty self-explanatory who that is. But I think that's everything we need to preface this with. And it's who are we taking to win a Super Bowl in a vacuum?
Not in their situation currently.
You
You're
just
starting a
get
team
these
from
players,
scratch.
yeah.
These are the first 3 picks for your team, and then you're building everything else from
Yes.
scratch. This is what you're starting your team with. All right, I think that's good criteria. It makes it so we're all on the same page here. All right, and I think that's everything to preface it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully, you guys understand and all that, and Yeah.
Oh man, this is rough. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I had like 10 different trios written down, 10 to 12 different trios written down. I'm not gonna give you honorable mentions because I already crossed out most of these to try to make my list. So here we go. I'll go from 5 to 1. At number 5, I have Josh Allen, James Cook, and Amari Cooper, the trinity of the Buffalo Bills. I put them at number 5 because of the fact that I don't know what Josh Allen to Amari Cooper looks like just yet. And I valued that at least a little bit. You're going to notice I left a team off my list. That's the New York Jets. And I didn't put them on because of the play of Aaron Rodgers so far this season. And the fact that Breece Hall has also had hit or miss games. The Bills, Josh Allen has been special. He hasn't exactly had weapons, but Josh Allen at least has been phenomenal so far this year. James Cook is by far having the best season of his career, finally finding the end zone, and he's looked really good. Obviously did not play last night, but aside from that, Cook has looked awesome. So I had to put the Bills in my top 5 because of how damn good Josh Allen is. At number 4, almost a Super Bowl winning trio, but this includes a Super Bowl winning duo, and that is the Rams trio of Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, and Cooper Kupp. We ruled out guys that are out for the remainder of the season. We just watched Cooper Kupp a few weeks ago still go off and still looked like the Cooper Kupp of old and had that connection that we were talking about with Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford have that same thing, if not to a whole nother level, as this man won a Triple Crown. I take nothing away from them. I still have to have them on my list. Matthew Stafford is a top 5 quarterback. Kyren Williams is playing at an elite level, and Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp. At number 3, you can't leave off the best quarterback on the planet, and that is Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce. Isaiah Pacheco not yet ruled out for the remainder of the season, likely to be back at some point this year, so I still had to include them on this list. Isaiah looked great before the injury. I don't got to explain to you how good Pat and Travis are. It's just simple. The second Rashee Rice went down, Travis stepped up into that number 1 role again, and as we all expected, Travis Kelce is not washed. At number 2, man, oh man, this is carried by 2 guys, and that is Lamar, Derrick Henry, and then there's Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers made this list solely based off the fact that Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson have been the best quarterback and the best running back in the NFL so far this season. So I had to put them at number 2. Tough to put them over this trio of C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, and Nico Collins. The only disappointing part about this trio is that 2 of these guys have now missed games. And that, wow, as Judge goes deep.
He did it.
God, man.
Finally,
About fucking time.
finally, that's a massive home run, too. Put us up 6-2. I love that. C.J. Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We already know that. Joe Mixon, in 2 games with the Texans, has looked unstoppable. He's looked unbelievable. And Nico Collins, prior to getting hurt, was the best receiver in the NFL. It's just that simple. So, yeah, this one's tough. I put them a little bit high, probably for everybody's liking. But I think they deserve the benefit of the doubt, given the 2 games that they have played. Like, the 2 games that Mixon has played, he's looked phenomenal. And all the games that Nico's played with CJ, he's looked on a whole nother level as well. So, number 1 is my is the Houston Texans over here. So, here we go.
So am I just rattling off mine? Am I reacting to his? Okay.
Rattle 'em off,
So I'll rattle off mine. At number 5, I also have a new leaf. I'm looking at this one.
It don't matter which.
Okay.
Just talk, man.
Talk
to us.
ball.
Yeah,
I'll just talk
to
hoops.
us.
I'll just talk shop. So at number 5, I have one of the new trios that we got today, but not the one you have. I have Aaron, Breece, and Davante Adams. I was, back and forth between the 2. I think they're going to be special, those guys, Josh Allen, Amari, and James Cook. Josh Allen's been playing at damn near an MVP level, if it wasn't for one other guy. He probably would be the MVP, but we've seen Aaron and Davante before. Breece Hall has had a couple of down games, but still got a lot of juice there. So I'm just going to go with the formality, the reliability of Aaron and Davante, and the fact that Davante's top 5 at the position. At number 4, I have Goff, Monty, and Amon-Ra. I had Goff, Gibbs, and Monty, but if we're only doing 3, that's fine. I'll put Monty.
Yeah.
Monty, David Montgomery, on pace for 1,500 yards, rushing yards, and 20 touchdowns. And that's with a guy behind him who's on pace for 1,109 touchdowns. So those numbers could easily go up. Amon-Ra, one of the best in the business, and Jared Goff, maybe not one of the best in the business, but goddamn does this guy produce, all right? And I know, again, it's in a vacuum. It's tough to put them over some of these other guys, but the production is just so damn good that I'm gonna rely on them for that. And then, Sully, you're gonna like this. At number 3, I have Mahomes, Pacheco, and Kelsey.
Nice.
Again, all reliable. Mahomes and Kelsey, the numbers might not jump off the screen at you this season, but damn it, you know when the moment comes down to it, those two are going to be there. And Isaiah Pacheco runs like he's angry at the ground. We get it. But he's an absolute beast of a back, and he will be back this season. And they're going to go to him in the playoffs. They're going to go to Kelsey in the playoffs, and that's when the moment matters the most. But number 2, damn, you have the MVP and maybe the offensive player of the year in the backfield. I don't really care who's that wide receiver, but respect Zay Flowers. I mean, this man has had 2 back-to-back 100-yard receiving games.
Yep.
Had almost 100 earlier in the season. He's a good player. Lamar's favorite target. And this offense is just unstoppable. I mean, you can't. It's read options. It's Derrick Henry running through you. It's Lamar scrambling or making a crazy throw downfield. It's just unstoppable. It's unfair. It shouldn't have been allowed, but it's allowed. I love it. You love it. They're here. And at number 1, I too have C.J. Stroud,
Wow.
Joe Mixon, and Nico Collins. Nico Collins, before he went down, was just an absolute beast of a human. Like you said, Joe Mixon.
You love Nico Collins.
Love Nico Collins. We, the 3 of us, were pretty high on Nico
I
Collins.
love Nico Collins too.
I was the one that was down on it. You guys.
That's right.
him
He
in every
sucks.
league.
We know ball.
Bro,
You
like,
guys
every
definitely-
league I have Nico Collins.
Love,
Nico Collins
love,
in the 3rd round was
love.
as free of a fantasy.
I
player
was
as they
Yeah.
come.
so
I
scared
can't
of Tank
pick.
Dell. So scared of Tank Dell.
Nah,
I don't know,
man.
man. But I see what you mean.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, Stroud and Nico have one of those connections that we talked about that we value so high. Whenever CJ Stroud, when the going gets rough and he has to extend the play, he's just waiting for Nico to get open. Joe Mixon has looked like one of the best backs in football when everyone said, hey, that efficiency is going down and down and down every year. He might not have it this year. It's soaring up. He just looks great, has a nose for the end zone, and they've just been not just reliable, but elite. So
Yeah.
that's my list.
Pete, you want to go or you want me to go?
Yeah. So, all right. I guess we'll go bottom to top. So,
Yeah.
lucky Ben.
Yes.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So at 5, I'm gonna go Geno, Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf.
Love it.
Wow.
Look, Geno's giving us 300 yards a game. Kenneth is basically a Swiss Army knife.
Yep.
Bro is basically a receiver on top of being a running back. And DK Metcalf, if you need a big gain, you need yourself a 20-yard gain, fucking just throw the ball up.
He should have had a monster game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
fucked by
He got
the fantasy
fucked over.
football gods. or
Yeah, I
something.
don't know.
Yeah.
but-
Someone was preying on his downfall.
yeah,
or
for
something
sure.
Like
But
that.
yeah, you need that, you need that fucking third and 15, like throw the ball to him. Like
Yep.
chances are he'll show up for
Big
that play.
behemoth of a man.
F4, this was a really hard choice. I was stuck between the Lions and the Packers, but I'm going to go with Love, Jacobs, and Reed. For a guy whose knee, like, fucking basically snapped and just came back and is just showing up and playing football like it didn't happen,
Yeah.
that's what made me put him before the Lions on this list.
Not mad at it.
Jacobs is Jacobs and Reed is Reed, man.
That's an
Pretty much
interesting
speaks for
reason.
itself.
Jaden Reed's special.
Jaden Reed is
more
a
of a respect.
dog.
Jaden Reed's special.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed is a dog.
And so yeah, for that reason, it was more of a respect thing, but it was really hard to like choose between the two.
And Jordan looks like last year version of him.
Yep. And then next, I'm gonna go Kirk Bijan and Drake London. Kirk
What
came
a
to this
list.
team. He's showing the fuck up. He is in there, bro. He is doing what he has to do, and he's doing it well.
Yep.
Bijan
and in the
is
clutch too.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
that.
And in the clutch.
In the clutch, he's
Yeah.
doing
Bro,
what
he had
he has
500
to do.
yards.
yeah.
In
And
prime
They,
time
they were
game.
like barely scraping, obviously aside from the Panthers this past week, but before that they were winning close games, which is a lot of people's
Yep.
knock on Kirk Cousins.
100%.
And he's showing up in the clutch. for
500
them.
yards
yeah,
in prime
man.
time. When the fuck does Kirk do that?
Yeah.
Kirk don't do
Dude,
that.
he's in there, bro. He's doing his. He's showing up.
Oh yeah.
That's a new Kirk.
Bijan's Bijan, man. He's He's gonna do his thing.
He's a joystick. He's a human joystick. He just
Yeah.
just flick him and he.
Like
and he does
I
some
want
crazy
him.
shit.
Give me him in Madden all day.
Finally, a big game.
And-
bro.
You guys
Yeah.
seen he was on Outer Banks, the new season that
I
came
saw
not
it.
see that.
I
I
didn't
didn't
see that, no.
I didn't see that.
He's just like a cameo, just like he's just like driving the boat for like a 5-second scene, but it's just like he's
It's not a
obviously.
spoiler.
They
dude.
really couldn't get someone else.
Yeah,
for
no,
that.
it
Spoiler,
doesn't
fuck,
spoil
he was driving a
anything.
boat.
No, but
Fuck.
Oh,
he's just so-
Bijan's on Outer
He's on
Banks.
some boat in
He's
Outer
so
Banks.
perfect though because
The boat in Outer
they're in the
He's so perfect,
no, but
Chris.
for the role, bro. Well, yeah, he's perfect, but for the role, it's he's driving the boat like the captain of the boat for the villains, and it's a night scene and it's foggy, so like it's blue and dark, and you just see the camera pan to a close up of Bijan with his freaking hair.
His hair is
flowing,
so
like,
cool.
He was just
His hair is cool.
he was perfect for the role, bro. Perfect
Hell
for the
yeah.
role,
Do I
but
got
go ahead.
Bijan hair?
Was he Bijan in Outer
Type
Banks?
shit, type shit.
He was
Type-
literally
type
only
shit.
in there for like one scene,
No, he didn't
and he
play
doesn't have
Bijan
any.
Robinson.
It's literally
That's what
just
I
a
was
quick.
saying.
No,
Yeah,
he
did
played
he
Literally
play
just a
Bijan?
quick cameo is just a side character.
Oh, okay,
Like,
cool,
yeah, he
cool,
doesn't
cool,
have
cool,
a role.
Background actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Drake London. He's been playing impressive football, bro. Like I literally I want that guy on my team. Like
Alpha.
Like I want him on my team. At second, I'm gonna go Lamar, Henry, and Zay Flowers. They're just like red zone monsters in my opinion. So like, what more can you ask for in a team that gets there pretty consistently and actually could convert?
They're gonna come through. Yeah.
And it's usually them three. It ain't fucking Mark Andrews this year.
Sure as shit ain't Mark.
He scored a touchdown.
He got one last year.
scored a touchdown.
Yeah, as I dropped him in our fantasy league. So
It's tough.
yeah, dude, literally just dropped him.
That's how
And
that goes.
They do, and I was fucking like, yo.
I dropped H-An last year before he went for 50.
I did too.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's how the cookie crumbles.
Tough.
But yeah, Lamar is just a Swiss Army knife of a quarterback. Like if Derrick Henry for whatever reason can't get there, like Lamar will.
Yep.
And Zay Flowers, like, kind of reminds me of Gary Wilson in a way. The way his hips are, just like the way he just
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hips don't lie.
No,
Yeah,
I
his
get
hips
what
don't
you're
lie, bro.
saying.
Yeah,
I know what you
know what I
mean,
mean?
but
He has
shit,
that.
yeah.
Wait.
that
Pause.
twitch. Yeah, I
Pause.
know.
Yeah,
what
my
you're
bad.
saying. I
Pause.
feel you.
You
Resume.
got that twitch. You
His
thought
hips
I was
don't
feeling
lie.
you? Thought I was feeling you?
Hips don't lie.
And then at number one, I know you put him at number two. I'm putting him at number one. C.J. Stroud, Joe Mixon, and Nico Collins.
We both had them in
We
one also.
did both have him.
that too.
No, we both had
Nope.
them in
We
one.
both.
But
We
go
actually
ahead.
all had a collective same top
I'll
two.
be so disappointed.
I'm not too happy with that. But
Why?
No, give your.
Why
That,
not?
me
Why?
putting them at one?
No,
all
just
three
any of us
you
putting
put
him.
them at
All
one
three
is
of us?
crazy.
I can't believe they did it too. Yeah.
You know,
That's
it might be.
crazy.
I thought I was
bro.
cool for that.
It might be a fantasy football bias, but dude, like when you're looking at your phone every week and you're like, oh my god, Nico put up 20 again. I love you. Oh my god, Joe Mixon, you're injured. It's okay. You're coming back next week. You're putting up another 20.
But
like,
it's-
and then C.J. Stroud. Look, you get me 250 yards on FanDuel this weekend. Like, yo, like, bro, I'm putting him at
He's
number
just trying
one.
to hit his bets. He's just trying to make money, bro.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. I just love watching them play football. Like, it might just be me.
They are
love-
electric to watch,
It just
yeah.
it might just be me. The fact that I love watching them play together. The way I don't know, they're just a great fucking trio. Like,
Yeah.
and look, there might be stats out there that are better than the order I have these in. But at the end of the day, I enjoy watching those three guys play the most out of all five teams I just
That's all
named.
that matters.
So that's why they're at number one for me.
Well, good thing we need to win a Super Bowl too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right.
yes, I agree with you.
And I don't know. I could say they could be. Super
I
Bowl
agree.
contenders.
I completely
They could be-
agree.
Dude, I would
No,
love
they're
to see
super.
that.
They are. Super
yeah, they're
Bowl
absolutely.
contender.
Hell yeah,
100%.
man.
100%.
So with that being said, I'm happy
you
with
go.
them at one.
No, they're a
you know?
contender
Alright.
for sure.
I'm excited to see who you
100%.
put at number one, though.
I know
Very
who we put
excited.
at one. I already know who we put at one.
Yeah, we should know who I have at one. All right.
Dolphins. Okay.
Number 5.
No.
I'll
boy.
tie number 4 and 5 together. It's the two new trios. At number 5, I have the Jets trio of Rodgers, Brees, and Tay. And listen, I really wanted to leave them off my list just as
Spite.
the Jets
Oh,
hater.
I just
yeah,
did.
but
As a Jets fan, I left them off.
just-
So
Rodgers and Tay, man, like we
Can't beat
just
it.
talked
Yeah.
about it for now, or probably like they just got something that some duos and connections in the NFL just don't have. They just have a mind meld, as Matty J would say. In the London game the other day, I was getting ready to leave for the Liberty game, so I had it listening. Me and Amanda were standing in my kitchen, and the announcer in the Jaguars-Bears game was talking about the pass rushers pinning their ears back and getting to the quarterback. I was crying.
J.
So I
oh my
had-
god, I heard.
Yeah,
wait.
yeah. They said that shit on the broadcast.
Matty
I
J.
was
Classic.
thinking about
Bring that
Tom.
up,
Oh no,
yeah.
I mean Sully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was crying. But anyway, yeah,
well.
Rodgers, Brees, and Tay. It's like Rodgers and Tay. It's gonna work.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
might not be a Super Bowl contender because of other outside factors, but
Not
Rodgers
because
and
of
Tay
those,
aren't
yeah.
going to be the reason
Yes.
why. Allen, James Cook, and Amari Coop. I ain't mad at you, Coop. I ain't mad about your horrible play in Cleveland this year. You're coming off a career year, and you're playing with a guy in Cleveland who no one in their right mind would want to show up and play for as their quarterback.
Yep.
He's going to turn it around. He goes from having the worst quarterback in the league to arguably the best in the league. It's going to work. James Cook, like you mentioned, having a career year, finally getting into the end zone, which we've all been waiting for. One of those guys, like a lot of guys on this list at the running back position, just a dual threat, can run the ball well, big play waiting to happen, and has the receiving job. So those guys just have to be on here for me. At number 3, this is where I'm going to put Stroud, Mixon, and Nico. And it's no hard feelings against them. They're great. I think Mixon's weighing them down a little bit. I know he's had some good games this
God,
year.
he's looked phenomenal in the 2 games.
I just seen Mixon for years and years be so inefficient, man, and
You think it's coming?
I think it's coming.
Fall off
I
is
think it's coming. And
Don't
the
say that.
Texans' run game just is. That's a whole other thing. Again, this isn't a vacuum, but
They've been finding out him, though.
and these other quarterbacks that I'm going to have above them, I just simply trust more. And the quarterback's the most important thing. here.
Oof, okay.
Oh, so this is based off trust, the top 2.
It's
I like.
trust.
Me, it was I like
these,
watching.
Yeah, these top 2.
You're like, bro,
it's trust.
yeah.
I'm trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
At number 2, I have Lamar, King Henry, and Zay Flowers. And listen, Lamar's had his playoff woes, but adding King Henry next to him pretty much eliminates that shit for me. Like, the Ravens are.
Hopefully.
This is. Even though the defense fell off, the Ravens are as legit of a Super Bowl contender as they've ever been in the Lamar era. And
Oh, yeah.
like, I watched back that Washington game from this week, and there's just no way to guard these guys. They have to have so much attention. Like, on 3rd down,
Nope.
you have to have so much attention on Lamar and his scrambling ability, and then Derrick Henry could just pound you up the middle. And
Hey,
then
Like, pause.
No
pause.
pause.
No pause there.
No
You
pause.
can't
And
stack
then-
the box
you
against them.
can't stack the
Hey,
box.
Put a spy on Lamar. Like, can't,
And then if you do stack the box and you come out in some type of blitz/man coverage, Zay Flowers, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but Zay Flowers got to be amongst the top of the league in terms of yards per route run against man coverage.
Yeah.
Because especially in that Washington game, and granted, Benjamin St-Juste is pretty much just a test dummy.
All
at this
them
point
boys are cooked.
No, but Benjamin St-Juste is literally might be the worst cornerback I've ever watched play. He's like Eli Apple levels bad. He is like the Commanders' defense is bad.
That's bad.
Benjamin St-Juste is a different level of him getting killed by Zay Flowers was why they lost that game. Zay Flowers, even though it all came in the first half, he was torching.
It did all literally come in the
torching,
first half.
but
Yeah.
like just like torching them. So it's like, all right, you can't play man against them because Lamar passing the ball has been every single year.
Money,
This
dude.
motherfucker just gets better and better and better passing the ball. Zay Flowers is killing man coverage, and then you have Derrick Henry running the best he's run in the past 3 years. Like there's just the way they mesh together. Like there's no defense to stop them. There's just no one's come up with it yet through 6 weeks. I know they lost to the Raiders and whatnot, and lost to the Chiefs, but there's no way to stop them.
After this, I'm so curious you have at 1.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
Well, my number
Hell
one
yeah.
trio, I'm trying to win a Super Bowl, man. It's Rick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, and Travis Kelce. It just got to be, bro. It just got to be. We saw it last year in the playoffs. After a down year, Travis Kelce came to life and was, even though Rashee Rice had a great season for the Chiefs, Travis Kelce was the guy when it mattered most in the postseason. We're seeing now Rashee Rice gets hurt. They were trying to save Travis Kelce again, let Rashee Rice do the heavy lifting. Rashee Rice gets hurt. Travis Kelce picks up the heavy lifting. Mahomes, it hasn't been great this year, but he's the best quarterback in the league. Like it, until proven otherwise.
Until he loses a playoff game,
Yeah,
because of how he played, he's
the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
So, and Isaiah Pacheco, he's obviously not Derrick Henry, but he, for the most part, has been near perfect for the Chiefs since he's taken over as the starting running back. He runs hard, he fights for extra yards, and it just, again, they fit together, and game on the line. I know this is trios, game on the line. There's no duo I trust more than Patrick Mahomes and Travis
Sure.
Kelce.
Yeah.
It's that simple for me. I'm trying to win a bowl. Those are the guys. Like as good as Nico Collins is, as good as Joe Mixon's been this year, I think it's actually lunacy to have the Texans trio ranked above Pat Mahomes and them.
So part of it for me is projecting because I think CJ is one of those guys that like come playoff time, now that he has the experience and he's had a bit of success with it, like, and he understands what playoff football is all about now, I'm projecting that he will not struggle in the playoffs. He will be one of those guys.
I agree 100%.
And I understand that Mahomes is that dude, but I'm thinking, like, it's going to be Mahomes and then CJ is going to be number 2 or 3. And it's like, for me, now I'm splitting hairs and I'm looking at the rest of these weapons and I'm saying, with the way Mixon's been playing through 2 games, that was insane. Like, that was unbelievable.
Right, he's been such a good runner.
Just from what I've seen this year. Like, I can't even, because like, the problem is, our biggest issue with Mixon was the fact that he just was inefficient and wasn't doing anything of substance. And then he comes to the Texans, and through 2 games with the Texans, he's one of the most efficient backs in the NFL. And then you see Nico Collins goes without saying. Like, that dude is just 6'4", 220, like, just outruns everybody. Like, what are you supposed to do with that? I mean, I feel like at this point, physically, he's probably the closest thing we've had to Calvin Johnson since Calvin Johnson. Just physically. And I think that come playoff time, that's just trios. I'm going to take them.
I don't know.
It's hard to bet against Mahomes, though. And I didn't
you could
take
even make a conversation that come playoff time, when you got to have it, like, put the because the quarterbacks to me is a wash. You could say CJ could be number 2 or 3 in terms of who you want to win a playoff game. That shit doesn't matter because Patrick Mahomes is head and shoulders above everyone else, and he's the guy, and it's not even close. Like, no one's on the same planet as him right now until proven otherwise. That's just what that is. I think quarterbacks aside, we could have the conversation that I'd rather have Pacheco and Kelsey than Mixon and Nico. I mean, based on this year, obviously you have to take Nico and Mixon.
Yeah,
like, I can't argue that. The production this year, you got to take Nico and Mixon, but
granted, they are also a Super Bowl duo. Like, they've already won a Super Bowl. Like, obviously Pacheco and Kelsey have already done it. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just
Kelsey's
projecting.
one of the greatest playoff performers the sport has ever seen.
For sure.
Like, for as great as he's been in the regular season, like, we know when the playoffs come, that motherfucker will be better. Like, that's just been his career. Nico Collins, for as great as he is, like, and I know this shit isn't as important in football as it is in basketball, the whole playoff rise or playoff fall or shit, but when you got a guy like Mahomes and you got a guy like Kelsey, and we're talking about these guys who every single time they are in high leverage, need to have it situations, they step up every single time. I really do. I think it's lunacy to not have them at number 1. I really do. I think it's crazy. I know you're projecting a little, which I guess I can't get mad at, but these guys have been doing this shit for years and years, bro.
They've just been so damn good this season.
I know.
It is so difficult to not, and for me, honestly, I'd probably move Mahomes up 1 over Lamar, Henry, and Zay at this point, because I didn't put Lamar in. I didn't put Lamar 1 because of the simple fact that I don't trust Lamar come playoff time, because I've been led every other direction so far. So I would put Mahomes, Kelsey, and Pacheco, now thinking about it, over them 2, but I wouldn't touch the Stroud, Mixon, Nico trio. That's just me, because like, I wanted to put Lamar, Henry, based solely off them 2 at 1
like,
so bad.
Lamar's playoff woes become, because obviously we have to project for playoffs this year, right? That's what you're doing with Nico and CJ Stroud. Does Lamar's playoff woes kind of get fixed because he's playing with freaking Derrick Henry next to him now? And
I think it makes his life so much
easier. It completely changes the way they have to be guarded.
Theoretically,
so
it should.
Like, if I could project that the Texans are going to perform great in the playoffs, I'm going to go out and project and say that the way they're playing right now, the best quarterback and the best running back in football are going to play well in the playoffs.
Agreed.
Too. So
theoretically, like I said, it should.
Yeah.
But I understand this is the best running back he's played with to this point in his career. But like, every time I've seen Lamar in the playoffs, he has shrunk completely from the regular season. Like, last year we thought like, oh, this is the year he's going to turn it all around. Like, yes, I know he didn't have Derrick Henry. I get that.
He folded against it.
But he folded.
He folded.
Like, that was a horrendous performance. And I can't forget about all of his failures. I just can't. So that's why I would change that. I would put them at 3. I would put Mahomes, Kelsey, and Pacheco.
That's completely fair.
But for me, it was simple. It boiled down to, obviously, you're taking Mahomes over everybody. And in the end, if you want to put the best quarterback over anybody else, the one who's done it 3 times, I have literally zero argument against that. I can't say anything about it. But I am projecting that C.J. Stroud is going to be at that level,
It's
or
the
not
same
that
thing when we
level,
talk
but
about, like,
close to that level of quarterback.
ranking like contenders and shit. Like we talked about in the group chat after week 2. We called you crazy because you were saying the Bills were more of a contender than the Chiefs. Like you just, the Chiefs are just number 1 until proven otherwise. That's just, to me, that's just what it is. I got burned a little bit last year by slightly, not as much as you, obviously, but ever so slightly coming off the bandwagon for maybe a week or 2. Then, I
stayed on that bitch.
Came right back on for the entire playoffs. Like
I made a poor mistake.
It's until proven otherwise with them. That's just, I don't know.
I'm going to be honest, come playoff time, I'm probably going to say, like, I'm not going to bet against the Chiefs ever again. So they'll probably walk through the
You're
AFC.
going to take the Bills.
You're absolutely going to take the Bills.
Bro. I'm mad at you, Coop.
I will never bet against the Chiefs again.
Never again.
Every
You
year.
just
I don't think I ever
can't.
have bet against the Chiefs, I'm going to be honest.
You can't, bro.
You can't do it.
It's so stupid to me, bro.
But that Derrick Henry, Lamar, that thing is dangerous.
Yeah.
That thing is dangerous, and it's just physically unstoppable. You got Pat Ricard blocking for him.
I mean,
but
you
if
would
anyone's
think.
going to stop that shit,
If
it's
anyone's going to
Coach
figure out
Spags.
it's Spags,
It's Coach Spags.
and Chris
bro.
Jones, But it's just
No, I know. They look dominant.
it just makes no sense. Like there
There's
can't
no
be a way
way
to stop
them.
There can't be a way
We've never seen a duo in the backfield as like
not even close.
Bro.
I guess yin and yang as fucking Lamar and Derrick
I
Henry
really
are,
watched
bro.
back that Commanders game. I did the all-22 and everything. Like, the Commanders played a damn good football game, even on the defensive side of the ball.
No, they did. They did.
For as bad of a defense, like I thought, I was like just in that game in particular, I was very impressed with both teams, being that both these quarterbacks are scrambling quarterbacks. The way they set the edge with the contains, I thought was on both sides. Was
That's Dan
really
Quinn football, baby.
Yeah, that shit was phenomenal. But like Lamar and Derrick Henry, they were just sucking literally, like you saw it in the air, the life getting sucked out of the Commanders. It's like in Beetlejuice, in the new Beetlejuice movie, that bitch that was sucking souls out of people, bro. Yeah.
Yo,
Wait.
Yeah.
When do I see? How do I see this movie?
Yeah. But like dead ass, like you saw
Are we
it.
still talking about football?
No, but like for real though, like
It's on a
you
different website.
You like saw that shit in the air. Like Lamar and Derrick Henry were literally sucking them, bro.
We're talking about different balls now, bro.
Yo.
This
I
is a
don't know.
different
It
ball.
was nutty, bro. Like they're nutty, bro. Like
When
honestly,
I say pause, you say
I would have
resume.
been more happy if you guys put them at 1 instead of the Texans trio. Honestly, like obviously
I don't know, man.
based
Those
on my
boys-
list, that's
I
the
feel
way
like
I
the
had it.
Texans are like I can't believe it. I feel like they're kind of flying under the radar. Like people, like they've been dominant. This
Yeah.
year. They've
They're
been
just as much
dominant.
of a contender as the Ravens and Bills.
I
to
completely
me.
agree. Yeah.
Yes.
Their defense has been dominant. CJ's been
That top 4 in
Great.
the AFC.
yeah.
What
No,
the
yeah, they're
hell?
right there. Like they're right there with the pack for
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
That shit is terrifying in the AFC.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Well,
Yeah.
terrifying in the AFC. There's a lot of guys. You know, you mentioned the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Texans. Terrifying in the NFC. It's a much shorter list. And one of those teams, everyone used to say, they're terrifying. This is our year. We them boys. Man, that shit couldn't be any less true than it was this past weekend. The Dallas Cowboys, of course, is who I'm talking about, get absolutely embarrassed, trashed, stomped on
what?
by them Detroit Lions.
What?
What was it? 47-9 was it? What was it?
Something of that.
47-9.
Don't
A
matter
lot
at
to
that
a little.
point. 49-7.
It was
49-7. That's what it was.
Thank you. It was an embarrassment. You had left tackles running routes. You had a hook and ladder to a right tackle. They were playing.
Hey, shout out Penei Sewell.
These Lions stalked their prey and were playing with their food. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Dallas Cowboys, the fall off is here, and I couldn't be happier. I said it before this season. I said, listen, if there's 2 things that are true about this season, it's that Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the shit out of my New York Giants. They're going to figure it out, and they didn't beat the shit out of them, but they beat them. They're going to beat them twice, but they're also going to let down every single person that puts on that jersey. and shows up to that stadium, and that is what they do. And I mean, the Cowboys falling apart.
Yeah, it's what they do.
What are our thoughts there? I mean, like
what
it's
they
just
do.
it's just
Nah, they don't do
like,
this in the regular
this is
season.
real bad.
I got one quick comment. Happy birthday, Jerry Jones.
Happy birthday,
Hey,
Jerry.
you
for real.
scumbag.
2 days ago was his birthday, the day that they got smacked around, beaten down. Happy
Manhandled.
birthday, Jerry Jones, you stupid old son of a bitch. I am
God.
Cheap bastard. No, fuck Jerry Jones. He sucks.
I just look, I honestly should be thanking you. You ruined the Dallas Cowboys piece by piece by piece. You ruined them. I should be thanking you. I should get you a birthday gift, but you're a multi-billion-dollar man, so I'm not going to do that. But
Yeah, Jerry would spit on anything you gave him, honestly.
yeah, I mean, it wouldn't even
blame
have
him.
sentimental
Yeah, I
value for
wouldn't
the
blame
man
him.
at that point. But yeah, so look, I'm so happy. The Dallas Cowboys have collapsed, and I think, did you say it before the season? Because I know I did. I don't
I
know
say
if
a
anyone
lot.
else joined me.
I say a lot of things before.
I don't know if anyone else joined me, but I said this was going to be the demise of the Dallas Cowboys because they didn't make enough upgrades to the roster. They didn't want Derrick Henry because they couldn't afford him.
Right.
They don't want to pay CD Lamb.
What's Derrick Henry making, by the way?
Barely
About
wanted to.
8 million?
8 million? Yeah,
8
right.
million? Yeah.
was-
I think
there
they
was-
had that this offseason.
So there was another running back, Texas native, one of the most efficient runners in football the past few years, and he's on the Minnesota
Rico
Vikings.
Dowdle.
No. It's not
Shit.
Rico Dowdle. It's not Deuce Vaughn. No, it's Aaron Jones.
Zeke?
Said no, not even a few years ago maybe, but not even close. No, it was Aaron
Devontae
Jones.
Turpin?
Nah, ain't him either.
Oh, shit.
Still Aaron Jones.
Shit.
Who just ran all over them in the playoffs. He got about
Like 180?
Yeah.
Did he have a buck 80 on
He
them?
got about $7 million, something like that. No, I couldn't afford him. We're paying Trey Lance $5 million. That's where we need to allocate our funds. But I just imagine that conversation. I'm sorry, I completely took your.
No, you're
took your
fine.
train,
You're fine.
but
You're fine. I'm okay with
I
that.
just imagine the conversation was like some guy was in the Dallas Cowboys front office, right? And he's looking at a spreadsheet or something, and he's like, "Man, we were like, what do we do here? Like, we got to make some changes. We need improvements on this roster." But Jerry don't want to do nothing. Like, and I'm gonna lose my job because of it, and it's bullshit. And then Jerry walks into work one day. You're praying he knows what decade it is. Just so happens he picked the right one this particular day. And he's like, "Guys, who the hell's that running back? I don't know who this guy is." And we're like, "Jerry, so glad you said something. Thank God." All right, I got a list of guys here. So there's this guy in Tennessee, 2,000 yards, 250, runs 60 miles an hour. No, I can't afford him. Jerry, what do you mean? You got $8 million sitting right there. What are you talking about? You can't afford him. All right, I got another name for you. Texas native, wants to play here, will take a pay cut. Just ran all over us in the playoffs. Aaron Jones. Oh, no, I can't afford him either. I don't want him. Like, all right, well, there's Devin Singletary. There's these guys out here. There's that guy out here.
We have a guy that just came off an injury, played a decent season last year. We could keep him around.
Right,
Tony Pollard.
right. No, there was a guy that played for us a few years ago. He was fucking awesome. Who was that guy? Oh, God, Jerry, don't say it. Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, go get him. Go get him. Whatever it costs, I'll pay it. Go get him.
Whatever it costs.
Like, that's how I imagine that went, and I couldn't be happier about it.
So you can't run. You can't stop the run.
Nope.
You didn't want to pay your big time guys. And look, I'm gonna be honest. I called for Mike McCarthy's job at the beginning of the season. That's what I said was going to be the fall guy. But I just want it to be known out there that this is by no means Mike McCarthy's fault.
What was he supposed to do?
This is by no means Mike McCarthy's fault. You don't have a good offense. You don't have a good defense. You have the best kicker in the NFL. But everything else is a shit show. So where did we think this was going? Honestly, I said going into the season, I think I gave them 9-8, maybe 10-7. That was fucking generous. We're about to witness the demise of the Dallas Cowboys, and I wonder how that looks, and I wonder what that means for them. I'm so happy. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a loss like this where they just get straight up embarrassed and it pretty much ends the season for them. Like, let's be real. Any expectations and hopes after a loss like this, like there's no bounce. Like you said, they were literally actively trying to get offensive lineman touchdown in this game. I don't think honestly.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've seen a lot of blowout
Yeah.
losses in my time watching the NFL. I don't think I've seen one as embarrassing.
I've
as
never
this.
seen someone disrespected.
Bro,
It
the
was-
Lions outright tried
Can you
to disrespect
imagine if that
them.
was a
nuts.
primetime game?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, it was
God.
disrespectful. It's not being like I know people are talking about it. It's not being talked about enough.
No,
They
it's
got
definitely not.
straight up embarrassed like I've never seen before. And you know, I've said a few times on the pod that the Cowboys not letting go of Mike McCarthy and letting him coach the last year of his deal, going into the season, we thought with guys who weren't paid and needed to get paid at some point, made me feel like it was a one last ride situation. Like, let's see what happens, and then if it doesn't work out, let's tear it down.
This doc is going to be
So
amazing.
now seeing it collapse and come to fruition in real time, like people had in mind, you know, like you, and, you know, I know you're not the only one. People knew that not making moves this offseason, the Cowboys would regress. I don't know if anyone really thought to this level. Obviously, I don't think anyone ever would have thought they would have got embarrassed like this, but people thought they would regress to some extent, and then they would have to move on. Now it makes it so much more questionable. Why the hell did you just give Dak Prescott $60 million?
Bingo. There it is.
Why the hell did you just pay these two guys? You have no chance of winning a Super Bowl, and you're not going to have a chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Yep.
What fucking moves can they make
So-
with this roster?
Jerry wants to win Super Bowls, but he
He has
doesn't
no
want to
idea
do.
how.
He doesn't want to do what he needs to
He
do
has
to
no
win
idea
Super Bowls.
how,
I mean,
bro. He has no idea how.
He got blessed with the Holy Trinity
yeah.
in the 90s. And
he's living off of glory from 30 years
Yes.
ago.
It's ridiculous.
And it's like just the ego that is. And listen, I never thought I'd see the day where I never thought I'd live to see the day where I felt sorry for Cowboys fans, but man, these guys prop up their team every fucking
Yeah.
year. No one believes in anything. Kids don't believe in Santa as much as Cowboys fans believe in their fucking team. And they just get let down season after season after season after season for different reasons. It's Dak's fault this time. It's McCarthy's fault. It's this guy's fault. And it's going back.
just
years
goes
and
to
years
one
and
man.
years. And
like, we got to stop blaming everybody
one
else.
old bastard. One old bastard. And it's just listen, as much as I enjoy watching it, like it really is sad that what was a great franchise like in sports,
Yes.
still one of the most valuable franchises in sports, is just being dragged through the mud like this.
And it's like Dak. It's like, bro, like I know, like go get your bag, but like, why the hell are you signing to?
I don't
stay
understand
there,
this.
bro.
But that's not even the thing. So he obviously broke the record, like, but it's also just, and I can't knock quarterbacks for taking as much money as possible, but it's like, bro, why? Why take that? Like,
bro. They're the
do
laughing
you not
stock of the
care?
NFL right
Do you
now.
also not care about building a team around? Like, do you not want to win? Like, I don't know how many teams are able to
It's not
stomach
even about
those.
taking that
Winning,
much
like-
money. It's just about why the hell are you re-signing with this organization?
like,
Yeah, when you're
winning-
gonna get dragged too. Like, you're gonna get
that's what I'm
dragged just as
saying,
much as
like,
everybody
that's
else.
what I'm saying. Dak for his
Yeah.
entire career has been getting dragged and dragged and dragged, and it's like, all right, you have a chance to get out, to still get some money, and to go to a team where you don't have to deal with the Jerry Jones effect.
Don't you
And
wanna
it's
enjoy
like,
yourself?
Why the
You know,
hell are
like-
you signing that
Yeah.
contract? The Cowboys, why are you giving him that contract when this is clearly the one last ride? Like, it made so much sense that this was the one last ride, and that's why I gave them grace going into the season much more than you guys did, because I was like, the way the contracts all work out, why not just give it one more year and just see what happens, and then reassess and go from there.
Yeah.
If you show some life, if you win a playoff game, win 2 playoff games, whatever the case is, then you could re-sign Dak, re-sign CD, fire McCarthy and bring in a Bill Belichick or whatever. And now it's like you paid Dak millions and millions, the most expensive quarterback in the league. CD Lamb is making, like, those two guys are making what, 30, 35, like,
They're making a combined $95 million a
what are
year.
they, like, what is that in terms of percent of the cap?
Over
50?
No. It's
Cap's like
over
35?
35% of the cap.
Like you're giving 35% of your cap to two guys. You're gonna have to pay Micah eventually.
say,
Like
now
this,
what, he walks
this
out of the room?
roster is not.
That's going to be
cheap.
over 50%
Right,
of the
this
cap
roster
altogether.
isn't cheap as is.
Yeah, no.
And then it's like
Mike's getting traded.
there's no way to freaking improve this roster unless you trade your best defensive player on an already
only good
weak,
defensive
depleted
player, yeah.
defense. And
Yep.
it's just like with this core, it's just not gonna get better. Fire Mike McCarthy. Go ahead. That is not going to fix the
Nope.
Dallas Cowboys issues. Again, like you guys said, you just lost 49-7. That is not only on the head coach. The players stink. The team stinks. The team is not a good football team. And it's just like there's no path for them to be a good football team in the next 2-3 off seasons, giving the money that they're paying. Like, why did you not just let Dak walk? I don't understand. They got pressured into. Why did you pay him the day the season started?
Well, you know
Makes
Jerry
no
takes care of his guys.
I know,
That's the thing.
But it just makes no fucking sense.
And this isn't a slight at Dak. He should have went out and got his bag
you
on the
didn't
open
fucking
market.
Do what you want to do.
You didn't
yeah.
pay him all off season. I assume you didn't pay him because he's asking for so much money, and he has a track record of choking. What the hell changed that you paid him? He didn't do anything to like respectfully. Congrats to Dak on getting your bag. But what
changed?
What did he do in training camp?
What did he do in training camp to say, you know what, the day the season's starting, $60 million? Like, what the hell are we doing? What are we doing?
Wild.
Like, you got to know when enough's enough. Like we always say, the good teams know when to move on. The good organizations know when it's time to move on. The Chiefs had a good run in the early 2010s. They never really got over the hump, but they knew it was time to move on from Alex Smith to Patrick Mahomes. You know, they knew it was time to move on from Tyreek Hill. You know, the good organization, the Lions, knew it was time to move on from a bunch of guys. It was time to move on from Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift and bring in new guys here for the vision we have here. The Cowboys have no fucking vision. They have no future. Jerry Jones is just killing these fans. I agree with you, Tom. I feel bad for the fans. We know a few Cowboys fans. Our boy Rob Riley, man. Rob Riley, if you're watching this, I doubt you do, but Rob Riley, I'm sorry, bro. Because
Justin Delsani, man.
They're right. Those guys are exactly what you said. Like what you said. They believe in the Cowboys more than anyone believes in any other team. Those guys will ride. Like the Cowboys fans I know really will ride or die for that team. And it's just like, Jerry, this is how you repay your fans. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, so
it's a fucking joke.
Yeah, no, you made terrific points. And I was hearing the stuff about like McCarthy getting fired, and that's when I really looked and I'm like, what the hell was he? First of all, what do you do when you fire? And we talked about that with the Jets and firing their coach. Who's out there that's better? And what does he do? You got Jalen Tolbert as the wide receiver too.
Hey, shout out Tolbert though. He's balling.
Okay,
been playing well.
Playing well under the circumstance. I mean, he has no other choice. No one else can play well. You got Rico Dowdle. RB1.
Yeah, that's where the problem is.
You lost Tyron Smith, who's been at Dak's left for years. Who, granted, playing like shit for the Jets, but you replaced him with a rookie. I don't even know what round they picked him.
Tyler Guyton, first round pick. You replace him with a rookie at Dak's left, and you're trying to go win a Super Bowl. Like you lost. They had Stephon Gilmore, who wasn't great for them, but is looking real good. No, he was good for. He was really good for them, though.
Gilly was great for them, bro.
Yeah.
Gilly was great for
Balling
them.
for Brian Flores now. Yeah, he was good for them. And then Tony Pollard didn't look great for them. Now he's balling with Tennessee.
Look at what he's doing in Tennessee.
There's a theme here. You know, like some guys leave the Cowboys and play better. You didn't want to pay Amari Cooper all that time. What'd you do with that? You paid Zeke?
Right,
They
that
did,
was where
yes.
it went
Right?
fucking
Yes.
downhill.
They paid Zeke
That
over
is where it
Amari
started.
Cooper.
Never traded Amari Cooper.
No.
They should have never traded
paid
Amari
Zeke
Cooper.
over
That was
Amari Cooper.
for a fifth-round pick as the guys coming off like career seasons. Like it was we just seen it that the Browns just got a third-round pick for him. The guy's in his
30
30s.
years old.
He's in his 30s,
Yep.
bro.
What was
Yep.
he, 26
He's
when he got
past his
traded?
prime now, and
Bro,
they got
he
a
was like
third-round pick for him.
27
You
years
can only
old
get a
when he-
fifth-round
yeah.
pick for him. It's fucking ridiculous.
27, 28.
I don't get it, bro. And it doesn't help that the NFL, these guys are such fucking. I know you got to get your money and you don't want to get hurt, but these guys are such fucking divas.
It's frustrating
bitching
as a
and
fan.
complaining that they need their money before their play your contract. When your contract is done, you get a new contract. Because now look at the Cowboys. They're fucked because they paid their guys before the contract.
But that's just good organizations get that stuff done though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Because
organizations
you're
get
gonna
that
pay
stuff
them
done
eventually.
because you
What are you
are going to
waiting
pay them
for?
eventually, and
And the price
also
goes up.
when they're playing
I
that well,
agree.
you
This
want to
shit-
reward
right,
them though.
This shit should have been done
Yes,
the beginning of the offseason so you
Exactly.
could build a roster around them. Or, like I keep saying, it is the one last ride, and you reassess that stuff at the end of this season. There was no reason to do that shit right a week before the season with CeeDee and the day the season started with Dak. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
Because there's no fucking next step for this team.
No.
The only logical next step for this team, the only best next case move for them is trading one of the best defensive players we've seen enter the league over the past 10 years.
Yep.
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? The way that the Cowboys have any chance of being a good team over the next 5 years is trading a guy who is a top 10 defensive player we've seen enter the league over the past decade. That is fucking a game changer, a game wrecker on that side of the ball. That is the only chance they have. The only chance they have of being a competent team for over the next 5 years. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, realistically, you're looking to get 2 firsts at minimum.
Yeah,
at minimum
100%.
for him.
I'm sure they're gonna get a haul for him, and like that's what like. As much as it
but
sucks
at that point, what is it? You're trading for first-round
What are
picks
2
to
firsts doing?
hopefully
Right.
get a Micah
Right,
Parsons.
you're in a rebuild after you just paid a quarterback $60 million.
Yeah.
You're going to enter a rebuild. It's fucking ridiculous.
You
It's
can't trade
ridiculous.
Dak because then you're eating 90% of that money right now.
Nobody's gonna want him for $60 million at 30-something years old.
Exactly.
for the most
It's
part.
ridiculous, bro. They're a joke. They're a joke.
It's a demise if I've ever seen one. So
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I want nothing to do with him.
Yep. Fuck him.
Like the season's done. The one last ride is over. Like that's it. Like we'll see what you do in the
And
offseason.
My last thing about the Cowboys is one of the biggest complaints about that Cowboys defense is they have no heart. They don't play
oh
physical.
my God, no.
You think they're gonna go out there excited with a bunch of energy after they just got embarrassed, and they're the laughing stock of the NFL?
There's nothing to like flex about.
There's nothing. There's nothing positive to take from this. Like the only
When you
thing,
put
the
it
only
that
positive
way.
is it can't get worse.
Bro, you
Bro.
didn't score an offensive touchdown.
I'm sorry, but that point that you just made too, with the defense being as soft as it is, that honestly reflects on the whole locker room.
Right.
So you can only imagine how bad it got after that Dallas Cowboys loss. Obviously there are very few locker rooms that could lose
They might be the only team
49-7.
in the history to lose to themselves. But he said after that Dallas Cowboys.
Sorry, they pretty much are beating themselves
Yeah,
right
pretty
now.
much did lose
If we're being
themselves,
honest,
yeah, I
they've
mean-
lost to themselves.
I wish they lost
after
to the
that,
Steelers.
after that loss, oh my God, they should have.
I wish.
But all in all, like I completely lost my train of thought.
My bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Dallas Cowboys beat themselves. The locker room feels the whole
yes.
energy. Yeah.
So the locker room, they're gonna collapse. You know they're giving up on
It's
each other
done.
now.
It's over,
It's
bro.
cooked. This season could really
Playoffs
go into
are
a
out.
tailspin.
The way the
playoffs?
freaking Commanders are playing right now, like playoffs are out.
and the
window.
Eagles are somehow
When I
a
was
winning
talking-
football
that
team right now.
NFC That NFC playoff picture is nuts, and the Cowboys aren't sniffing it.
They're
Aren't
done.
sniffing
It's done. It's over, bro. This season's a wrap. Like we'll,
Might finish bottom of the division.
yeah, like really, like we'll see.
Not with Andrew Thomas going out.
Oh yeah, true.
We'll see what you do in the offseason. Like that's
Yeah.
it for the Cowboys.
See you next year.
Like yeah, we're done. The ESPN graphic eliminated,
Yep.
and that's that.
And that's that.
Eliminated. Done. Season over.
That's that.
Let's go Yankees. Congrats.
Let's go 2-0, baby. But look, you guys were just talking about poor decisions by the Dallas Cowboys this entire offseason, this season, all of that. Look, I got to say, for an organization that typically makes the right decision all the time, the Pittsburgh Steelers in this case have objectively made the wrong one. Russell Wilson was just named the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, although they look like they're heading in the direction of using both quarterbacks. How do we feel after an electric start by Justin Fields, a 4-2 Pittsburgh Steelers team now wants to make a change because Russ is healed up from his injury? Tom, what are your thoughts? Where are you at with the Pittsburgh Steelers now moving on to Russell Wilson?
So it's really weird because I said it before. I heard that they're going, and you said, you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
Yes.
They're going with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Do you do that in the NFL? Like, has that? I've never seen that. I've never seen two quarterbacks play a game by choice.
It's happened, but it never works.
Right. And like you said, like Mike Tomlin of all people to throw this out there, and Arthur Smith, who we all joke about him because of our fantasy teams and shit on him, but the guy's good at his job. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so weird. They're 4-2, and maybe Justin Fields hasn't been spectacular all the time, but that's not what you got Justin Fields for. You didn't get him for the Ohio State Justin Fields. You
Both
got
of
him
these
for-
guys were bridge quarterbacks,
Right.
and Justin
Yes.
Fields is playing way better than a
Right.
bridge quarterback. right now.
And Fields is and over the past, I'd say 2 games, Arthur Smith has unlocked something with Fields in his legs. Like he's moving.
Finally.
He's got wheels. That guy. We've always known that, but it's such a strange decision. I know Russ was the guy going into the season and in training camp, but you just said it. said the inverse about the Cowboys. Like good teams move on from their decisions.
100%.
If this guy's playing better, this guy's winning you ball games. That's the guy you got to go with.
I feel like the only reason they even started Russ at the beginning of the season is more like a vet
they
thing.
didn't because they couldn't. He was hurt.
He won
They
the
were
game. He
gonna-
won the job.
They were going
Right.
to though. That was the plan, and
No.
then Russ hurt, and Fields steps in.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, like, they were looking at Russ as this is our guy, even though they got
Yes.
Justin Fields. But I think the only reason they were doing that is they were looking at it from like a vet perspective, like,
Yeah,
all right, this guy's
that's
vetted,
exactly,
whatever.
yep.
But then again, like, all right, like, you guys are saying like time to move on. Like, let's give Justin Fields a chance. He's going out there, he's playing ball, he's showing up. I don't really have many complaints about him. I mean, maybe a Steelers fan would have more to say. But now it's like you see this guy is clearly like doing all right. Why change what's kind of working? Is kind of what
You playing
Stuck
winning
on.
football. Why would you? Why?
yeah. And now like you. Dude,
Only one
splitting
pick
time-
so far this year too.
A
The
quarterback,
man's not
only
turning the
one
ball
pick,
over.
dude.
I don't know if he's fumbled, but I don't.
Fields fumbles a little bit,
Yeah,
but
One of the
but-
biggest things I feel
Unreal.
It's
Yo, is-
typical Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So, like, he's still holding on to the ball a little.
He's
Like, he's
better
still
than we
making
thought he would be,
silly
like-
But he's
mistakes, but he's playing
been better.
Yeah, I feel
and it's
like-
also like he has a little bit of competence around him.
If your
now, which
defense
helps.
showed up in that Colts game, you're 5-1.
I feel like quarterback's a leading position. You're a leader. You're fucking running an offense.
They love Fields.
How are you? Yeah, you. It's hard to have. You can't be listening to two guys.
No.
This
I
is
mean-
what we just said about the Cowboys, and this is how if you lose this game to the Jets this week with Russell Wilson as the starter, Mike Tomlin loses the locker room.
Oh God.
Like,
Dude, fuck.
like Steelers season. Like
Fuck.
I know you could always go back to Fields, but like after you do some
really
shit,
can't, yeah.
after you do some shit like that, like I don't even want. I'm Justin Fields. Fuck you, Mike Tomlin.
all
Like,
you had to do was if you wanted to move on to Russ, wait.
wait till you lose.
Wait.
How are you doing that shit after a win? I went into work.
A win
today.
that he
win, too,
played
like,
well.
yeah. good
I
win,
went into
yeah.
work today to pick up my check, and Dean's cousin JT was there. He's a Steelers fan, so it was like right after the news broke. So I was talking to him about it, and he was like, he said like, look, bro, like I get what you're saying, and like you're 100% right, but based on the past 15 years, as a fan, I'm just gonna have blind faith in Mike Tomlin. And I said, I get it. Like, I really do.
I mean, what else?
I
would
guess
do?
that adds up, yeah, I
I
mean,
really do get it. But
Guys
it's just
never had a
like,
losing season, you know.
logic just says like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like this is
Right.
how you
Like
lose the
obviously I
locker
can't make a
room.
better decision than Mike Tomlin. I get that.
Yeah, I get it, but
But it's like all you had to do was if they lost this game to the Jets, you immediately and Fields plays even average. He has an average game, you lose the game. You could say, okay, we're gonna move to Russ. And everyone would you'd have a few people be like, this is a little, I don't love this, but everyone would be like, all right, you know what? You signed Russ to be the guy in the first place. Fields just lost. They're 4-3. He didn't have a great game. Fine. We're going to move to the vet for these situations where maybe Fields can't get it done, but we know Russ can probably get it done. But a big difference here is the fact that the Steelers' O-line hasn't exactly been great. Like, Fields has created so much for this football team, gotten out of so many sacks that I'm sorry, but 36-year-old Russ just ain't going to be
and like
doing.
you said, it's helping that we just saw Najee Harris have his best game in the season,
Yep.
but we've seen it the past 2 weeks the way they're starting the game with the Justin Fields design runs, and this isn't no like naked boot scramble or shit like that. These are designed quarterback powers where Justin Fields is going and taking hits for 3-4 yard gains, but it sets the tone for the team. And that shit that Russell Wilson just, at this point in his career, he's just not doing that. He never was doing that. Not like that. Not designed quarterback powers up
Yeah.
the middle where you're
No
getting
shot.
boomed on. Like Russ
Fields
was
is
never
properly
doing that.
jocked.
Like Fields is taking hits, but like that sets the tone for the team. Like I just said, we're seeing it. Najee Harris finally looked like a good football running
Yeah.
back this week. Like it's just setting the tone for everyone, and it just again, this is how you lose the locker room, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're a team that most people who do what we do thought they had no chance of winning the division this year.
Yeah.
They're in that freaking race right now, man.
Yeah.
I know the Ravens probably got it, but like they're in the freaking race.
They don't feel that way. They're saying we're
all
4-2.
it takes
you
is
know?
winning that head-to-head matchup,
Yep.
and then
Right.
you're in
Dude.
the driver's seat.
That defense is legit.
Yeah, all it takes, like, and we've seen it. The Steelers own the Ravens.
Yep.
Like that head-to-head matchup, they'll probably split this
Take
year.
one, yeah.
They'll at least
Or
split,
they'll win
they'll at
both.
least split the series. So it's like you could in a few weeks from now you could be in the freaking driver's seat in the division. You're 4-2 right now. Fields is playing some really good. Like he's not playing no MVP level ball,
No, he's not
obviously,
playing
but he's
perfect, but,
playing
yeah.
some damn good ball, man.
For more than anybody, they need to figure this out for their offense, like for their receivers, etc. Like,
Well, Pickens-
imagine being fucking Pickens and then like you don't even know your quarterback situation.
He's a dick.
Like,
He is a dick.
Is he a dick?
Yeah.
He is a dick.
Yeah, he's
But
a
still,
diva.
all right, well,
But he's a
You're
damn
right,
good
though.
No, you're
receiver. But you're
100% right.
100%
How
right.
are you supposed to
That is a
prepare for
completely
game
different
not
point.
knowing
Yeah.
your quarterback
Right.
on a week-to-week
you know, chemistry,
basis,
man. It's a fucking thing.
Like me and
it's
Fields are
important.
granted Pickens hasn't been good, but they've been working the past 6 weeks on building something and
yeah.
unlocking something,
Yeah.
and now you're gonna just throw another guy in there. Pat Fryermuth having a career year. Fields is looking for him. They're building something. And now you're going to another guy there. Najee Harris, like I just said, seeing Justin Fields set the tone
And
and
finally
running
getting
behind
Warren
him.
healthy.
He's like they're building something there, a 1-2 punch
Yep.
in the backfield. Like it's just and the defense is playing like the best defense in the league, obviously.
Want to laugh? I feel like what's going to break them apart is going to make them closer. Russell Wilson's going to go in there. He's going to play a little bit. It's not going to last very long. And then Pat Fryerman's going to be like, oh my God, Justin Fields is back. And they're going to have a fucking
Pickens
season.
gonna be like,
And
That's my
"I'm back."
projection.
Pickens is gonna be like, yo, fuck this guy. He sucks. Please bring the other guy.
I
back."
really
Right, it's going to make them
think-
stronger,
yeah.
maybe.
I
feel like
really
it's
do
going to make them
think
stronger.
we all thought going into the season at some point we were gonna see both of these guys
For
And
sure.
I like I get the sentiment of
But we
like,
thought it'd be the other way around.
I get the sentiment of like, all right, well, Russ was our guy going in. He earned the job in the preseason. He's healthy now. We got to see what he got. But
Tough
it's just
shit.
like not like this.
But that's how
not
Tomlin rolls.
not
You know,
when- I
like
know,
Tomlin
games.
rolls
I know,
like
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
But it's just like not like this. Not
What
when
if
you're winning
Russ goes
ball
out
games.
there and just throws 4 tuds, like shreds
I mean, if
the
the
Jets?
Jets lose to
I mean-
Russell Wilson with Davante in prime time,
I just the only
Today,
way
this game went from a
What?
game that could be a snooze
They're
fest
always
yeah,
prime
Sunday
time.
night, yeah.
this
Every
like,
week.
just
Electric.
from today
Yeah.
went from a game that could be a snooze melatonin Sunday night football game to a
No
must-
matter what happens,
I'm glued to
yeah.
the TV. I need
Yeah.
to see what's going on.
No matter
on
what
both
happens,
sides of the
something's gonna
ball,
be.
so-
There's something to take away
Yeah,
from.
definitely
it.
had the storyline, which I can never get mad at the storyline. So
No, for
shout out
sure.
to Mike Tomlin for giving us content.
He
that
always
is
does.
very true.
Mike
That is
yeah.
gonna make for great
yeah,
TV.
shout out to Mike Tomlin for that. But
But
so strange, bro.
Weird.
yeah, I mean, I don't.
And
love
again,
it.
at the end of the day, like any Steelers fans listening, just have the blind faith in Mike Tomlin. At the end of the day, he probably knows more than us. Like,
Pete, you played some
it-
O line back in the day. If you're rolling and they just yank your quarterback out and put a new guy in there, like,
You're not
what are
happy.
you feeling?
I'm not blocking.
Oh my god!
won't
Oh,
it
no,
changes the way you have to block?
Oh my
it?
God! Oh, he's
changes
in
how
jail
you're
now.
gonna
Oh
It
shit!
definitely changes how you're gonna do your job.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, it
Especially if you know
changes
the guy
job.
behind you can run too.
The
So
play
Bro.
calling, obviously, like it's gonna change a little bit too. Like they're not just gonna run the same plays with Russ. Like they're two different
Yeah, I'm not blocking.
quarterbacks.
So
with
what I
different
so
things.
what I
crazy.
think Mike Tomlin's
Sorry.
vision is Russell Wilson has long been one of the best play action quarterbacks in the NFL. They want to establish the run game. We know Russ overall, looking at his career and body of work, he's the better passer.
Yeah.
So I think he's looking at we're gonna work the run game over and over and over again, and then Arthur Smith is gonna be like, all right, Russ, play action. George Pickens is your better version of Cortland Sutton. Go throw that bitch to him. So I think
Yeah,
that's
it
the
could
vision.
work and look good. It's just like, man, Fields is.
I
Poor
agree.
Justin
think-
Fields was one of my guys. So like, poor,
Yeah.
like.
I had him, bro. I have him in so many fantasy leagues, dude.
What else is bro supposed to do other
He's
than
been
play,
cooking.
I
other
think-
than play good ball and win? Like this is what we've wanted from him
Right.
for years. Play good ball, don't make mistakes, and win some football games.
Yeah.
And he's doing it all 3 boxes. He's checking every single box. Like and again, it's not perfect. He's not playing at an MVP
No.
level. He's not the Justin Fields, the prospect that from Ohio State, but he's playing some good ball and he's winning football games. How do you move
And
that guy
he's
to the
developing.
bench? Yeah, he's getting
Every
better
game
week
he's
by
gonna
week.
develop.
Like I don't know, man.
So
I think Tomlin's vision is everyone says Pittsburgh Steelers football is just winning ugly, and they have no idea that I can get so much uglier with 2 quarterbacks running the shit out of the ball.
he's like, watch.
Watch
He's like,
this shit.
he's like,
It's like
watch
those
me
memes
win
where
with
it's
2
like,
quarterbacks.
Please give me harder battles. Guy. Like, what the, Mike Tomlin just Oh, we're 4-2. We're not 500
Too
on the
easy.
dot. We're not 500 on the dot. Give me harder battles.
Wait, he's like, we just blew a team out. I've never done that.
that's
We
That's
scored
way too
30
easy.
over 30 points. We can't do that.
That's too
Get this guy
much.
out of here.
Oh my God. Nah, that's Mike Tomlin football,
That's
baby.
Mike Tomlin football, baby. Confusing as hell, but typically effective. So we'll see.
Never finished below 500.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
All right, go for it, Tom.
Oh shit, this was me. My bad. Waiting for it. I'm like, who the fuck's bringing this in? But sure enough, it was me.
Yeah,
Um,
we're not.
Well, you mentioned Justin Fields has been balling out for some of your fantasy teams, and I think you'd agree he's been a steal. I mean, I think I got him on one of my teams. He's been cooking for me, like maybe a week or two even into the season. Like he was still sitting on waivers, and value wins championships in fantasy football. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna build the how can I word this?
Fantasy football
We're gonna-
all value team.
Yeah.
We're going to build the fantasy football all value team this year. Those guys that you drafted late, hoping, praying that they would turn it around so you can turn around and laugh at all your friends and say, fuck you, I told you this guy was going to be a god. Or maybe you took him just because you felt like you had to and it worked out for you. Happens all the time. So we're going to set this up like a basic fantasy roster. Quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, and 1 flex? One flex. So, we're going to start with quarterback. Now, I personally, if he didn't get benched, Justin Fields would be in consideration for sure. I think he's
Not even drafted. Yeah,
I
he was
think
mostly
he's
undrafted.
top 10
waivers.
quarterback right now.
He is number 9, I
Yeah,
believe.
Justin Fields was drafted like consensusly as the QB 27.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a steal for sure.
I mean, we ain't going with him no more though.
No, unfortunately not.
I mean,
But
he likely wasn't going to be our pick either because, look, we talked about guys on waivers. This guy may have been available in waivers in week 1. And I think he's the QB
2.
Is he the QB 2? Yeah. It's Baker Mayfield.
It sure is.
It's between 2 guys. It was Baker Mayfield and it was Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was obviously drafted, usually around the 10th to 12th round in your drafts. But God damn it, man. Baker Mayfield either going undrafted or going in the last round of your drafts. Come on. It's a no-brainer.
Jaden too, like there were people, especially later in the draft season, that reached and took him in maybe even the 8th round, 9th round. Baker, no. And, dude, he has 17 total touchdowns. 15 passing, 2 rushing touchdowns. That's unreal. So
And he has had 1 game below 10 points, 9.5. And aside from that, only 1 game under 18.
all 20s, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah,
clearly
there's no
Baker.
argument there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Baker
Baker's a
Mayfield.
home
Yeah,
run.
it's clearly Baker
Thumbs up.
here. He's went as the quarterback 21 in drafts. It's
Shout
just
out to Baker,
so
man.
much more value. Like,
Revival.
yeah.
So
The value
for it. It's the
comparison
greatest
between
thing
him
ever.
and Jaden, like Baker was a guy who in most leagues might have not been in 1 quarterback leagues he wasn't drafted. Like people were
Right.
not drafting him. So
And he's running.
Yeah.
Running more than I've seen him run.
Dude, he's got wheels.
He really does, man.
He's got 2 rushing tutties.
He's almost got
Highest is
he's almost got a career high in rushing yards.
That's unbelievable.
And he's played 6 games.
He's
Yeah.
the best.
So,
He's the best.
moving on to the running backs. I gotta announce this guy because he's my guy. One guy has to be a lock here.
Go ahead.
It's my freaking boy, Chuba
Hell yeah.
Chubby Hubbard.
Let's go,
The
baby.
running back 5 on the year. I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to see when he was drafted. The running back
Late.
42 off the boards in drafts. Chuba Hubbard has just been sensational. I mean, there's no other words. Ever since Andy Dalton took over at quarterback, I mean, RB4, RB7, RB8. And this past week, he was the RB18, but still put up 15 points. I mean, he is 27.9, 22.1, 17.5, 15.3. He's rushing for over 90 yards in all those games,
he's averaging
way
like
over 5 a carry.
unreal.
He's getting involved in the passing game. Since week 2, he's gotten 5 targets, 4 targets, and 6 targets. Like, this
Yeah,
is
Chuba's
just
in there for
He's
sure.
playing beautiful.
this is
yeah.
just everything you'd want in a bell cow running back.
bro,
Right
there's
now.
nothing-
it's wild to me because, like, all the years of him being in the NFL, the last 3 years, it's been, like, pretty much nothingness.
Nah, the real ball knowers know though.
Last season,
turning up
end
the
of
end
last
of
season,
at the
end
end of last season, he was cooking.
Real ball knowers aren't shocked by this.
But I agree because of the fact that I always thought he would be so much better throughout the entirety of his career because real ball knowers know just how damn good this guy was when he was in college. He was one of the best college backs
far
ever.
and away the best college running back in the nation. That I don't know if that was his junior or senior year, but his last year in college, he was far and away the best running back in college. Like, it wasn't really close.
Not
he was
even
doing
close.
crazy things, bro.
So
doing crazy
yeah,
things.
Chuba's a lock. I think there's two other names for me. I don't know if we're gonna count Jordan Mason because of the McCaffrey injury, because no one really saw that coming. But he's definitely a steal. Like,
People were looking at him. I think
the only other guy I would mention is, well, actually, there's two more.
DeAndre Swift.
No.
No.
Well, Swift is good now.
Swift
actually. I'm
has
sorry.
turned
yeah.
up, man.
Dude, he's turned the fuck up, and like,
Chris, I gotta say,
it's the
man, it was
schedule.
looking
Come on,
great for
man.
me, and then it was
Come on,
it's
man.
completely
Yo,
flipped.
he's a good ball player, bro. He might not have good vision, but he's a good
athletic. He's
fantasy
hella athletic,
football
yeah.
Bro,
player,
he's one of the most like physically gifted running backs in the NFL. It's just never come to get like it. Just with him, it's always
And
this.
Roshan,
but he does this.
But Roshan coming in and being good too, and them integrating Roshan is helping him too, because he doesn't have to be this three-down workhorse bell cow.
That's not who he is.
That's not who DeAndre Swift is. And a lot of people thought, well, they paid him that money, that's who he's going to be. And they tried it for the first few weeks, and the Bears, like we just said for this entire podcast, good teams learn from their mistakes and make quick decisions and move on. The Bears realized he's not that guy. We have a guy in Roshan Johnson who could take the pressure off him, and they're one of the better 1-2 punches in the league right now.
Also, just correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like they've been using him more in the ways that he was supposed to be used in the first place, on outside runs rather than inside
because
runs.
they have a guy for the inside runs. That's what I'm saying. Him and
So-
Roshan are complimenting each other like peanut butter and jelly. Swift's a good shout for this.
But I would give it to Jordan Mason. I think it's pretty simply put. It's Jordan
The
Mason.
other two guys I was going to mention were J.K. Dobbins and
of
Brian
course,
Robinson.
J.K.
Brian missed a game, but he's the RB 17 on the season. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Before this
touchdowns.
past week, I think he was the RB9 coming in.
Sounds about right.
But
J.K. had a bye week also.
J.K. did have a bye week, and he's the RB15 right now.
Yep.
And he has had 22.9, 20.1, and 18.2. But
I feel
look,
like by default, it's got to be Jordan
it has
Mason.
to be
Yeah.
Jordan Mason, man. We could put all the arguments together that we want. Jordan Mason was going in one of the last rounds as well in drafts. I mean, if you knew that the situation with McCaff was a little bit scary, you were going to take Jordan Mason.
Way earlier, yeah.
And if you took Jordan Mason, it had the biggest payoff of all the running backs,
Right.
aside
I
from
don't know why I
Chuba.
don't have him on all those best ball drafts, 18 rounds.
Right.
Why do I not
What's
have him on
wrong
a
with me?
single
Yes,
best ball
bro.
team?
Yes.
I have 8 fucking best ball teams. I don't have him on a single one. Like,
Yeah,
how did
I
I?
don't have him on one.
How did I miss it? Like, thank.
He wasn't even on my
I don't
radar
know.
this
I
year,
don't.
bro.
Yeah, I don't know
No,
how I
he
got
would've
him on
been.
waivers in our dynasty league. I think that's ridiculous that
Insane,
he wasn't
yeah.
drafted there either. Someone
Yeah,
else.
that actually is insane. I
Yeah.
can't believe that.
Yeah, Matty J dropped him in our dynasty league
Ouch.
before the last season. Like
Before
during
this
the-
season,
yeah,
bro.
During the
off season. Before the whole McCaff thing came out. And then Jason goes out there, picks him up, and, reap the rewards. And now,
don't know.
of course, he's injured because everyone on Jason's
even-
team gets hurt.
Don't even stress, bro. I think the 49ers offensive line is better than Jordan Mason as a running back. So trade him to another team. He might not have the same season.
Put some respect on my boy Jordan Mason.
He's solid.
Put some respect on his name.
Damn
but-
good college running back, too.
No. He's a great running back, but my point is like he's on a very, very
I'm gonna
good
be honest.
team right now.
I'd vote for J.K. Dobbins here over Jordan Mason.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Who would you
Nah.
rather rest of season, J.K. or?
I'd rather J.K. Dobbins rest the season just because
Well, the injury.
McCaffrey's coming back at some point. Yeah,
That's
Is
not
he?
even
I don't
guaranteed.
even know if he is.
he
It's not
probably.
looking good.
Bro, it ain't looking good.
Not
I
looking
know.
good.
Well, it's
I-
weird because one week they say it looks like he's on his way back, and then the next week it's like, oh, no time
No
soon.
idea.
So I don't know, but I don't know. J.K. Dobbins isn't doing his shit off because of an injury. J.K. Dobbins
Yeah,
is
I'm-
doing that
I'm with
shit
you,
because
yeah.
he's a good freaking football
Yeah,
player.
like that's a real value. Like Jordan Mason
Like,
got
Jordan
an opportunity.
Mason's
and took it.
obviously
He
a
did, yeah.
value, but it's like fake, you know?
I'm with
Like
him.
we
My
just
vote's
left
Dobbins.
McCaffrey off the bus list because he's hurt. How are we going to put Jordan Mason on our
Exactly,
value
yeah.
list
I'm-
because he's doing this because of an injury? He's a damn good player,
But
and he's producing.
But that matters.
It definitely
Jordan
does
Mason
matter,
and J.K. Dobbins.
but-
You're the deciding.
Jordan
well,
Mason.
Nick.
You're the deciding vote. Jordan Mason or J.K. Dobbins on the all-value team so far this season
Jordan
for
Mason?
fantasy football. Because we need a deciding vote.
What
it's
happens
good.
when you have 4 people?
Jordan Mason.
All right.
We lose.
Jordan Mason makes the team.
I only think so because
Fake
he's
value.
just been like he's been ridiculous, and so is J.K. But like
Yeah, but
he simply has.
I
So,
mean, has he? Jordan Mason's what, the RB8, J.K.
What's the per
Dobbins
game?
is
RB15,
and he
missed
had
a
a bye
week
week
per
already.
game. Okay, let's also factor in that Mason just got hurt, playing 28% of the snaps and had 9.2 points. Like
100%.
Okay.
had 9.2 and 28% of the
yeah, 9
of
for
the snaps.
73 is pretty crazy.
He's so efficient. He is so
he's
incredibly
cooking.
efficient.
He's having a great year.
No, it's not
I
a
just-
question of the player versus. It's like I just agree that Jordan Mason's only in this opportunity because McCaffrey got hurt.
if
J.K.
Mason
Dobbins
didn't
is
get
a
hurt,
value because
earned
he's
it, yeah.
he's a dog.
yeah, he's
Jordan Mason, for as much as a dog as he is, this only happens because McCaffrey got hurt.
I love both. So it's like I don't mind.
All right,
I
let's
love
go with
them both.
Mason, and then we'll keep J.K. Dobbins as an option for
Right.
our
We
flex.
could throw
when
him in
we
the
get back
flex.
there.
Facts.
so wide receiver. I feel like there's one answer staring you. in
Oh
the face.
God, it's the number one
Chris
wide receiver
Godwin.
in fantasy
Yep.
football, bro. Come on.
Got traded for Jordan Love and Tutu Atwell. in a
Chris
little minute.
Godwin by far, and ain't even close.
Yeah. So Chris Godwin.
Yeah, I mean,
Do we do it? Do we have to put Alan Lazard to
No.
this point of the season?
I almost like. I know he was drafted super high, but like I got to give Stephon Diggs his flowers.
Yeah.
I
No,
thought
but
that
he
man
was a
was
third
good.
round. He was a
No,
third round
I know
pick.
he's not gonna
So-
be-
Chris
Yeah.
Godwin is love real quick. So Chris Godwin was being drafted as the wide receiver 34, and he's the wide receiver 1.
Right.
He's the captain of this
Yeah.
team. We have the Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin stack on the value team. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are just pumping out value. Shout out Bucky Irving.
This is
Is it your
insane.
boy?
Bucky Irving's my boy.
No. I'm saying the receiver. Is it your boy?
I mean,
Could it be?
No, bro. I'm sorry to say it is Alan Lazard.
I agree.
It has to be.
It like literally is right in our face.
No.
All right, well, who else then? Silly
Brian
Goose?
Thomas.
Who?
Bro. I'm sorry.
He's
I-
literally not even.
I love Brian Thomas, but guys,
I
it's
love
really
him too,
not a
but-
question so far this season.
Yeah, we're talking about fantasy,
Lazard
not
wasn't
like-
getting
I mean-
drafted, brother.
yeah, I mean, what do you
Yeah,
mean we're
straight
talking
up.
about fantasy, though? They're the wide receiver 11 and wide receiver 13.
They're separated by 5 points.
But that's the thing. The
No,
wide
I know
receiver
Lazard
11.
Was not even drafted at all in certain leagues,
I guess.
and he's above Brian Thomas.
That's what I'm
Thing is,
saying.
people are
And
reaping
Brian
the
was-
benefits of Brian Thomas.
People are still benching Alan
no one's
Lazard.
fucking
Yeah, no one's starting
no one's
Alan Lazard.
benefiting the value of Alan Lazard.
I
This is-
am.
You're starting him?
Fuck yeah, I am. I
Some
got
teams
a league.
are. I've seen
your
some
record?
teams.
a guillotine league, and I'm still alive. Do you know what a guillotine league is?
Yeah, it's-
Survivor.
Yeah,
of
you
War?
guys lose
worst
every
team, right?
die-
Yeah,
die
Yeah,
off
yeah.
every-
And
Yeah,
I'm
all right,
ranking
well-
third every fucking week minimum.
All right,
Hang
we'll
on.
throw Alan.
I mean,
Lazard
whatever.
on
But
there.
besides the point,
I'm grossed out by it. I don't want to do it, but like,
No.
he's 2 spots higher than Brian Thomas, and he was drafted.
not
if at
even,
all,
not
if
even,
at all.
if at all. In some
And Brian
leagues.
Thomas is being drafted in what, the 8th or 9th round in most leagues?
Oh, that's such an ugly
People
pick.
looked at Lazard this year when
Call
they
a
were
Hail Mary.
drafting
If you
him.
didn't catch a Hail Mary, it's Brian Thomas.
No,
if I drafted Alan
Forget the-
Lazard, I was disgusted.
Forget the fucking Hail Mary.
No, because if he didn't catch the Hail Mary, he's behind Brian
Are
Thomas.
you talking about stat wise and whatever?
But
Fantasy-
yeah,
fantasy
back
wise,
there,
yeah.
he's not
Maybe-
as high
maybe-
up as he is.
Maybe
by
there was a
a
12
good
point
amount
play.
of
Wait,
points.
false.
That was a
Yeah.
12-point
false,
play.
false. They might be like fucking tied.
No,
that
he's
was a
5 points
12.
No,
ahead.
it's a 12-point play. He'd be behind by 7 points. He'd be behind
bro.
by 7
So
points.
what would that rank
and
him
we
then?
would still look at Lazard as
He'd
probably
be the wide receiver
I don't know, bro.
23.
Lazard is
What?
getting so lucky,
12
bro.
point difference? I got the numbers right here, brother.
And-
He'd go down to 79.
Yeah, and he'd still be 7 points behind Brian Thomas. And drafted 8 rounds later, if at all.
It's just so fake.
So fake.
It is fake.
We're really putting Lazard on this team, bro.
I don't want to.
Okay, when was
But we
Brian
have
Thomas
to.
drafted? When was Brian Thomas drafted?
The 8th or 9th round.
8th or 9th round, and Lazard wasn't at all.
Yes. And he's ranked higher than Brian Thomas right
And even if he was ranked 23rd, and he didn't have that fucking catch yesterday, a player who wasn't
I guess if
drafted,
we're only going by
ranked that
like
high.
what they've done this season, yeah, by default, I
Wait,
guess you
bullshit.
but
bullshit on the fucking the catch thing, because that was at halftime,
right.
and he would have probably got at least half of those yards, even if he didn't get that Hail Mary touchdown.
now. No, but it was the last
So
play
he
of
wouldn't
the
have been
half.
ranked 23rd. He would probably been like ranked like
He
17.
would have got half those yards on.
How is that
for the
possible?
rest
Pete?
of the game.
Wait, what? How?
He would
What
have
I'm
got
saying
more
is-
yards in the
What
rest
do
of
you
the game
mean?
if he didn't catch the Hail Mary.
No, less. So what I'm trying to say is,
Right.
if he didn't have that Hail Mary, he would have probably still had enough points to be ranked like 17th.
No.
I think
I just told you he would have been
Is the math not mathing?
No, he if he didn't catch the Hail Mary, he would have been 12 points lower. Because it was what, a
would've
60-yard
had
Hail
to be.
Mary?
It was a 53 yard, I think.
53
or
yard?
something like that.
So 11.
11.3, whatever.
points.
Regardless.
No,
He was
I
a
was
wide receiver
thinking-
23.
I was thinking about it the wrong way. My bad.
Right.
But regardless, I mean, I would. First of all, if he was the wide receiver 23 right now, I wouldn't. Granted, you could say if he didn't catch that Hail Mary all you want. He caught that motherfucking Hail Mary, and that
That's what
goes
I'm
to his
saying. It's
fantasy
just
score.
so fake.
Fake all you want, brother. It
No, I do
matters.
agree. Though, like there are, I can't find his
Hold the
like
fuck
start
up.
percentage.
You gotta remember too, though. There's 32 wide receiver ones in the league, and if he was even ranked 23rd, that puts him.
Lower than Brian Thomas.
Bro, they have the same amount of targets.
No,
this
no,
season.
no, no.
The
that's not what I'm
same
trying to say.
fucking amount of targets this season.
You're
could
so,
also
you're so
make the-
lucky I can't figure out how many people started him this past
No,
week.
this is the thing though. You
I
could
can't
make
fucking find
bro. You could still make the same argument for Brian Thomas because when he versed Cleveland, he had 2 receptions for 94 yards, granting him way more points than he should have had that game.
Yeah, but he catches bomb passes off dogging people. Alan Lazard caught a bomb pass off like pure luck, bro. That shit was pure luck. Like that's just what it was.
But it was caught.
No, it was caught. Let's put Lazard on the team. It's just so boring, bro. Like come on, bro.
I mean, it's
I
if
don't
we're
know.
talking values, it objectively is the most valuable player. Like it just is of the receivers.
So start him next week,
Bro, like look at his fucking weeks.
I actually
Exactly.
fucking will.
And now
he's-
but here's the
Look
problem.
at his
Now he's
fucking
less.
weeks, bro. He was a wide receiver 3 in week 1. He was a wide receiver 4 in this past week. Other than that, it's been like
That's what I'm saying.
ass.
Like if you're
Like
starting
Brian
Alan
Thomas has been
Lazard,
consistently
Bro, no, he is not.
solid.
No, he is not. Like if we're gonna do that,
been more
he has
consistent
9.
than-
He has a wide receiver 9 and a wide receiver 8 finish. Those are his highest finishes so far. And he has a wide receiver
But you don't have
62.
no wide receiver 80 finish, bro.
He's a wide receiver 62 and a
You
wide
don't have
receiver
a wide
44.
receiver 87.
Bro, that's 1 week. That is
Of
1 week of
ass.
80.
1 week of
Everything else
ass.
has been nothing lower than what, like 10.7? Not
Bro.
a single
Put
week
Lazard
below
on the
that.
Team. I don't care, bro. I don't care anymore. That's boring, bro.
why don't we throw Jawan Jennings out there? Wide receiver 16. He's not
Because he's not ranked higher than
Just saying,
Lazard.
we're just,
He's
you know,
not
if
ranked
we're
higher
just-
than Lazard.
If we're just spewing bullshit, you know, that's all.
It's not bullshit. It's facts. It's
Nah, this is
straight
boring,
facts.
bro. Nah,
So
it
boring.
is facts, but this is
so
come
boring.
on, bro.
Yeah.
Lazard, bro.
Oh, you guys want to be more entertaining? You
No,
want
I
to
just
make it
can't
more
wait
fun?
to. No, I'll be super happy.
Entertaining.
when
We've just spent 10 minutes arguing about Alan fucking Lazard. There was no. That's not entertaining.
Yo,
when we revisit this in a few weeks, bro, and Brian
No
Thomas
shit,
is
Alan
still in
Lazard isn't gonna
consideration.
matter.
bro,
I know.
Lazard literally, bro,
Lazard
Lazard had
sucks. The Jets
two-
suck. Aaron
two-
Rodgers
two
sucks. You guys
touchdowns
aren't
in the
making
first
the
game.
playoffs. Devontae
That's not what the
Adams
fuck we're
isn't
talking
saving
about.
us.
This is.
We're literally not even talking
Fuck
about
the
that.
Jets, bro.
We're talking
I'm
about
so
fucking
sick of
fantasy ranking.
Talking about
I'm
them,
also-
bro.
I was
we're talking about ranking fantasy players.
We were
Let them do
talking
this.
about fantasy,
All right.
and we just spent 15 minutes on Alan Lazard, bro. Next week, I don't care win, lose, or draw
We're
against
not
the
making
Source.
Lazard had
We will
2
not
touchdowns
talk
first
about the
game.
Jets on
No,
this
I know.
podcast.
1
next
touchdown in
week.
the third
I
game.
agree.
Another
I
touchdown
know
in the
Lazard's
fifth
on the
game.
team.
Lazard's
And
there.
another
Shout out the
touchdown
Jets.
last game.
Shout out dog shit.
Moving
Jets.
on to
Fuck.
tight end. Like,
Oh, who gives a shit?
like I feel like it should be Brock Bowers, but by the
I
logic, it
agree.
has to be Cole Kmet. No one was drafting Cole
Right?
Kmet. By our logic, it has to be Cole Kmet.
It's Cole Kmet.
Tucker Kraft.
People were drafting Brock
Well, no,
Bowers
Cole
late.
Kmet has more points than
Oh,
Tucker
no,
Kraft.
But no,
Yo,
but don't do that.
No.
Because it's the way of which you get those points. Alan Lazard has been consistent. You can't say that Alan Lazard has not been consistent. He's had 1 game below 10.7 points. Brian Thomas has had more than 1 game below 10 points. Cole Kmet has had 1, 2, 3, and 4 games.
He's the tight end 3.
It doesn't matter,
He
though.
wasn't
This
drafted.
is different.
No, it matters for me. We put Lazard on the team because of where he was drafted.
But it's
Cole
how
Kmet's
I
a
get
tight-
my points.
Brock Bowers was drafted with people knowing and thinking he could probably be the tight end 1 overall. Cole
No, no,
Kmet
no.
is more of a value.
But where was he
tell you-
drafted, though?
No,
Cole
I'll tell you
Kmet?
why Cole
No,
Kmet is
no. Brock Bowers, 7th or 8th round.
right where Brian Thomas was being drafted.
But completely different story because Alan Lazard has more points than Brian Thomas so far this season, has been more consistent than Brian Thomas this season. So this is a completely different argument. Brock Bowers has been arguably the most consistent fantasy tight end aside from George Kittle.
Yeah, but Cole Kmet was drafted way. You weren't even. What'd you say about Lazard? You weren't even drafting Cole Kmet. You weren't. It's more of a.
You're
value.
literally missing the point.
No, I get your point.
It goes
I'm
with
just-
all 3 things. It goes
No, I
consistency, it
completely
goes draft.
understand your point. Your point's just out the window because we put Lazard on the team. I don't care no more. It's Cole Kmet.
Yep.
But it's
I'm,
not.
I'm voting
you.
Cole Kmet. No,
I vote
I'm
Brock
voting
Bowers.
Cole Kmet.
Aha.
I'm going with Brock Bowers.
Excuse me.
According to
Agree with me.
it's not, that's
Go
not
Brock Bowers, Pete. We're in this together, brother.
No. We're in together with Lazard. Yeah.
You're not with it for Brock Bowers?
No. This is the thing, all right?
Cole Kmet's had fucking 2 games with over 20, and the rest have been dog shit.
No, you're right. Yeah, he has done squat shit for the rest of the games.
Thank you.
He only had 2 good games. But the thing is, I
But
feel
we looked at Lazard, and he was consistent. That was the
Yeah.
thing. Lazard was consistently producing.
That's not why we put Lazard on the team, was because of his consistency.
I wouldn't have put him if it was 2 games with 30+, bro. And then the rest of his games
Wait,
were dog
actually?
shit. I
Actually?
wouldn't have put him
Wait.
on there if that was the
So they
case.
say
Wait a
that
minute,
Allen
wait a
Lazard
minute,
is
wait a
currently
minute.
being
You're
started
right,
about
because-
30 to 40% of
Wait,
leagues.
there was
On
a
Sleeper.
tremendous amount of tight ends being drafted before Brock Bowers, and he was one of the greatest prospects in a decade. You know what I mean?
He was a 7th or 8th round pick in fantasy football right now.
Fuck all
Yeah.
that. 30 to 40% of people on Sleeper are starting Allen Lazard. That's the
That's a
number I
lot of
just got.
fucking
a lot
people
of-
That's
giving
less
it to
than
Allen
half.
Lazard.
No, but that's a
How
lot.
many fucking leagues did you think would be starting Allen Lazard to this
Bro,
point of
the
the
people-
fucking
I mean, if
season?
he's
have
such a
Allen
value,
Lazard.
they'd be starting him.
Right.
30 to 40% of people starting Allen
That's a lot.
Lazard
That's
is
a lot.
fucking insane.
That's a lot.
Bro, but
That's a
if
lot.
you have Allen Lazard and you're valuing
I can
him as a
assure
wide
you-
receiver 2, you
I
should
can
be
assure
starting him,
you-
no question.
All right, out of all 4 of your fucking fantasy teams, I can assure
Brian
you,
Thomas
you have a
is a
couple people
weekly
on there that you're
Brian
starting
Thomas value
that
cemented
are
himself
also
as a
being
weekly
started at
start.
30% star rate.
My teams are good, so no, never happened.
No, yeah.
Tom also plays
laughing.
fantasy leagues with like 4-year-olds.
Yeah, let's not do that, brother.
No,
Relax,
Davante.
relax.
Your family leagues don't count, bro.
Tom's in a league with Lorraine, bro.
Oh,
Nah, all right. We could do Brock Bowers. I'm kind of over this shit, bro. I don't care no more. Allen Lazard dead ass ruined it, bro. I don't care.
So
Brock
flex.
Bowers makes the team. Flex.
I think we really only left.
JK.
Fuck it, let's put Brian Thomas at fucking flex.
You said that like Big AJ.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that. Brian Thomas.
Brian
is on
Thomas
flex.
at flex.
Chocolate cookie.
Brian
Thomas at flex.
Yeah,
No, we can't put Brian Thomas on the team now out of principle.
come on, bro. No, out of principle, we
Nope.
should. Out of principle,
I
we
mean,
should.
based on
Oh, wow, they're better off.
our logic, it has to be Juwan Jennings.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, God.
You gotta stop,
Oh,
bro.
God.
Why?
No,
Because again, I
love
just
it, but like,
3 points.
Shut up,
Bro,
But you're
but
you
wait,
gotta
wait,
stop
time out, time
this.
out. No, you gotta
stop
listen to
this.
me for once.
Because I
No.
quite
No, no, no,
literally
no, no,
said
no, 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 no.
I quite literally said consistency matters.
No, wait,
and you're
backtrack,
devaluing that
backtrack,
point
backtrack,
completely.
Backtrack. No, slow down.
Wait.
You didn't say consistency matters until I tried to spread some false narrative that Brian Thomas was consistent, right?
No.
Your whole argument for the first 10 minutes of the Allen Lazard thing was more points drafted later. That was your argument for 10 minutes until I tried to make
I didn't need to bring that up until after you
but
tried to bring that
no,
up.
stop. Don't. All right. Just be honest with me. Your point in the beginning was not about consistency, and you know that. Your whole point
No,
was
it wasn't in the beginning, but you brought up a good point that
you
gave
made
him a
the
good
point. Now.
point.
Yeah, I messed up.
Once you
but-
gave
so
me a
what's all
point, I
of our
had a
points?
counterpoint.
by your initial logic, Juwan Jennings is just as consistent as Brian Thomas.
Do I give a shit?
No, well, what does it say?
It doesn't matter though. That's what you're missing. You're missing the point of
Well,
values.
but if you're not getting the points, they're not. Those points aren't.
well, that's
going
your
to your
fucking
score.
fault.
Well, no, Tom's
And
teams are
obviously,
good.
obviously,
I don't have
Beat
those
Allen.
already.
obviously,
I don't
hold
need
up,
that bump.
hold up. Obviously, also 24%. Now people are dropping him because Davante Adams just
What I
got
showed
traded
was
there.
24% of people started Allen Lazard.
I don't.
Did
care,
anyone
bro.
expect 40% of
But it's
people?
up 7%.
Bro, stop.
Dog,
All right.
it says it right there.
Who's our flex?
numbers? I mean,
Let's pick our flex.
Brian Thomas.
Brian
or
Thomas,
J.K.
baby. Let's
Dobbins?
I'm
go.
gonna
Let's
give
be
a
in the
fuck
middle
about
here.
it.
Brian Thomas at flex.
don't
All right.
J.K.
I
Dobbins.
love it.
You guys just hate it because it's Allen Lazard. I don't like it either, but
boring.
it's the
It
truth.
ruined the entire segment.
It's wrong.
No, it didn't.
This
'cause now-
actually made it
Ruined
so
the entire
entertaining.
segment.
No, it's just
This
phenomenal.
made it
Ruined
so
the
much
entire
better.
segment.
But even if, bro,
All right,
like, if we
let me,
put Brian Thomas at wide receiver, we would have put Lazard at flex anyway.
No, we would have picked J.K. Dobbins.
No,
Oh
we ain't
my
putting no
God.
fucking Allen Lazard at flex.
All right,
Oh
on
my
to the next,
God.
bro.
Fantasy football, all value team. At quarterback, we have Baker Mayfield. At RB1, we have Chuba Hubbard. RB2, Jordan Mason. Wide receiver 1, Chris Godwin, the wide receiver 1 overall. Wide receiver 2, Allen Lazard. Tight end, Brock Bowers. And the flex of Brian Thomas Jr.
How about our kickers?
I love it. I love it. Come on.
sucks.
Come on, everybody. Yeah,
Let's go, baby.
Lazard, let's go,
Let's
baby.
fucking go.
It's Union,
Fuck
baby.
the Jets, but let's go, Allen Lazard.
All right. That's the podcast. We
That's
still
it.
got to record some TikToks, and it's
Sorry,
Oh, yeah, we got work to
Dante.
do.
Yeah,
Dante, we'll talk to you. We'll talk
Yeah.
about you in due time, brother. You're
yeah,
not that
I'm sorry,
important.
bro.
We love you guys.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all of our socials. This is a BallGame late night, so I'm sorry, but we got to end this thing. And with that, BallGame.